Okay, cool. We welcome you to the bronze ball game here on HCAC.TV between the Anderson Ravens and the Manchester Spartans. Let's first thank some of our sponsors before we preview today's contest. We want to thank Morales Group, building better futures one step at a time. Aspen Creek Grill. Burner Electric. Boilermakers Local 374. Clean Slate. Piper Logistics. And the Drumstick Dash 2023, Move Your Feet So Others Can Eat. We welcome you. Tony Donahue alongside Peyton Brown. Two teams that want to end the season with a victory today. Still a rivalry game, in-state game. You probably have a lot of players out there today that played against each other in high school. You get that rivalry going. Your thoughts on today's contest before we get kicked off?
Yeah, this is definitely a game that these two teams are looking to finally get a win, because you know how disappointing it can be as a player, as a coach, as a fan, anybody that doesn't get a win during the season. But these two teams have an opportunity today to be able to find that. And like you said, they not only have players that have played against each other in high school, but also now in college. With the close game last year, 19-12, Anderson won it. These players on these two teams are looking for some hope to end their season.
And a perfect afternoon for football here in November. This game last year, as you mentioned, 19-12, was in the snow. You had to battle the elements. You and I saw Manchester play a few weeks ago. They can get it up and down the field on offense, but you can't turn over the football. We saw 3 interceptions 2 weeks ago in their loss to Defiance.
Yeah, something with both these teams that could be a problem is they've had a hard time getting it in the end zone all year, but they have also had a hard time stopping other teams from getting in the end zone. So hard telling what it could be like here today, as they have both been outscored by quite a few points, haven't really gotten a ton of rushing or passing yards, but it could be an evenly match up game.
Yeah, both teams 0-9 on the year. You obviously want to end on a high note. Somebody's going to have to win this football game. Turnovers, as we just mentioned, but flipping field position, we see it a lot. Special teams, we saw Manchester a few weeks ago struggle with some punts. Anderson last week had a kick blocked. Controlling what you control and staying in your game plan is also important today.
Yeah, it's very important. It's also important to keep just the attitude up even if things don't go your way, because sometimes the game plan, as we saw a few weeks ago, it doesn't go as planned the entire game. Manchester keeping it close for the first half, but then kind of letting go of it in the second half, and it's been kind of the same story for Anderson all year, but being able to keep their attitude, their aura, and their energy up regardless of what happens. If they turn the ball over, if they get scored on every single drive, they got to have the mentality that it doesn't matter, and they're able to flip the page.
Yeah, so Manchester and Anderson, the captains, meeting at midfield coming up here, and a beautiful afternoon for football in early November. HCAC.TV. We've got a good one for you coming up here. But for the battle for the bronze ball between Manchester and the Anderson Ravens. For Anderson, they run the football. They're a little balanced, a little bit more balanced than maybe Manchester is. Running the football and keeping your defense off of the field and going on those long offensive drives will also be key here today.
Yeah, it'll be huge. They are a little more balanced. The Manchester is really they've kind of been back and forth, because at the beginning of the year they were rush heavy and they ran the ball a ton with their read option offense. But then, as we saw a few weeks ago, they brought a new quarterback in who could be a gunslinger for them, and they were able to find a little bit of a rhythm passing the ball as well. But maybe they're trying to look for something to become more balanced like Anderson has been all year, but it's also the last game, so who knows what they might have up their sleeve.
Yeah, we talked about, you play college football. Some of these seniors on both sides, last game here, keep your cool and try to get a win. I think we're going to see it go back and forth here, especially early often.
Yeah, it's definitely an emotional time for all of them, especially knowing that you probably aren't going to get to go to the NFL. A few people get to, but a lot of people don't get to, so really playing that last game, not only for each other, but for yourself, because it's the last time you're going to strap it up. I definitely know the emotion behind that, but I also know how important it is to keep your composure, because you still got a job to do.
It's a great crowd here. Manchester clearly fired up. Anderson wins the toss. They want the football first. When you're an 0-9 team, Usually you would see, hey, we're going to wait, get the ball in the second half, defer, but they want the football now. They want to get going here.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised because it's their last game, both of them. What do they got to lose? And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of aggression out of both teams taking the ball early here, maybe having some kind of flea flicker type of thing, just slinging it today and pulling out all their trick plays they could have, all their weapons that they could have to win this game because it's a bronze ball game for them. Yeah,
you talked about that, the coaching here. Last game of the year, what's the old additive from Waterboy? Don't hold anything back. You're going to go for it here. We may see 4th and longs going for it. Like you said, some trick plays, maybe some fake punts. How do you stay defensively ready for that, knowing that, hey, they have nothing to lose, we've got nothing to lose, we're both playing loose, we're going to try some things. How defensively, though, do you prepare for that?
I think defensively you do the same thing. If they're going to just go for it offensively, I'd say bring the house, bring some trick plays, bring corner blitzes that you usually wouldn't do, or have the free safety come and walk down, things like that. I'd mix it up. I'd add in the twist with the defensive lineman. Anything and everything shouldn't be out of question here because, like we've said multiple times now, there's nothing to lose here.
Yep.
And there's everything to gain. So if they're going to go for it like they're going to do on offense, then we're going to go for it like that on defense.
A lot of the Anderson faithful made their way up about 2.5 hours north to check out this bronze ball game as well between Manchester and Anderson. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. Again, last year Anderson in conditions that we haven't seen so far this year in the snow with a 19-12 victory. Manchester will kick it off after Anderson won the toss, and we'll get this one underway from the campus of Manchester University. I say return it. I don't want to see any touchbacks. Like you said, return it. Let's get some yards off the bat. Opening kick in the air. Fielded at about the 14-yard line. He will take it. Gets past the 20. Stutter steps. Tries to get the edge. Uses the stiff arm. He'll be tackled immediately. A pickup of about 2 on the return there. And Anderson will take over their first possession of the afternoon from the 21-yard line. What do you expect to see out of this Ravens offense?
Yeah, if I'm anybody on the Ravens sideline, coaches, players, everybody, I'm going deep early. I'm taking a shot. We took the ball. We went ahead, and we didn't want to wait to put our offense on the field until the second half. So I say first play of the game, some kind of Madden play, like 4 verticals, just throw it deep down the middle, see what can happen. Maybe some type of reverse or a halfback pass. I don't know. Everything in your playbook is available right now.
So we'll see what Anderson does here on their opening possession of the first quarter. 2 in the backfield, 3 wide set. Shotgun, quick handoff to the left. Tries to cut back, gets the edge a little bit for a pickup of about 4. That is the first run of the afternoon for the Anderson Ravens, a pickup of 4.
Gain 5 on the play, moves up, second down and 5.
So 2nd and 5 will officially mark it. Shotgun snap. Man in motion. That's Ted Lamson, the senior. Handoff again. And hit hard and stuffed out of bounds for a loss of 3. So a big tackle there. The pursuit brings up a loss, and now a 3rd and long.
And it looks like he came from the defensive back position, and it's so important as that type to read the play. Yeah, you see him dropping back to almost the free safety position there, and he just is quick downhill and meets him right at the line there. And in this game, it's either hit or get hit.
Yep. So Tyler Clark tried to get the edge on back-to-back rushes, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Anderson Ravens. Aiden Meek, the freshman quarterback out of Fort Wayne, sends his man in motion. Looks to his left. Now looking downfield, scrambles, sets his feet, throws it across his body, and just overthrew his intended target. It'll be a 3 and out for Anderson.
And that drive a little surprising, honestly. I'm surprised they went to the run the first 2 plays, and as we're going to see here, the pass, he just isn't able to completely set his feet and right through the fingertips. But he was open. He could still be running if he caught that, but a little surprised with almost a little conservative play calling.
So they will punt here on a 4th and 3. They're gonna bring the block, and we're gonna have a false start, it looks like. But push it back 5 yards, and Manchester should set themselves up after this punt with great field position. The Manchester faithful making some noise. Minute and a half gone by.
Penalty brings up 4th down and 9 for Anderson.
Bringing the house here for the block.
I would say so, but it's interesting to see that they haven't done anything like that yet, but I'm sending everybody.
Yep. And just barely gets it off. It's a good boot, and it'll be fair caught at the 40-yard line, so a good punt there to flip a little bit of field position, but Manchester will take over offensively for the first time from the 40-yard line.
And it looks like they're going to have Eric James go out there again. As we saw a few weeks ago, he was able to really find kind of a rhythm passing the ball with 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, also having 3 interceptions, though not really what you want on that side of it, but it'll be interesting to see what he does here.
So Manchester, the Spartans take over for the first time with Eric James. We saw him 2 weeks ago, 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, and that was just the first quarter. Quick snap, handoff. Passes the line of scrimmage, moves his feet forward for a pickup of 2. And really, we saw this with Manchester a few weeks ago. Setting yourself up on third and shorts. We saw a lot of losses on 1st and 2nd down, which set them up behind the chains, 3rd and long. They're going to need to keep moving forward here and not get themselves into 3rd and long position. James, quick screen pass, floats it. It's caught and tackled immediately for a loss of 3, so it'll be a 3rd down and 10.
And like you were saying, they set themselves up with 3rd and long, and as we're going to see here, he just isn't able to plant his foot really and get the ball down, which is causing him to float it. But I'd say they need to go back to what they do well, and that's letting Eric James sling it a little bit. He's a little risky when he goes down the field, but he's also successful with it. So if they're able to do that 1st and 2nd down, they're not going to have to worry about 3rd and long.
So Moss caught it for a loss of 2. Here's a quick out route to the 45. That is caught, but well shy of the 1st down. LeVar Leisure, the senior, with the catch. And it'll be a 4th and 4 decision time here. I say leave the offense out there and go for it.
It looks like they're going to do that, too. I mean, what do you got to lose here, like we've talked about? And I'd say take a shot down the field, too.
Yeah, we've seen a couple times here early when they're throwing the football, some room for James to maybe scramble around as well. Oh, he's going to just pooch punt it, which we saw a few times. It's actually a good boot. It's going to take a Manchester roll, and it'll be down inside the 10-yard line. And we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, a push in the back there for no reason on Anderson. So the ball down at the 9, half the distance to the goal. And Anderson's going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 5 in the shadows of their own end zone.
And that is not a good look for them, as we saw from last drive. They weren't able to get a whole lot going, and now they are backed up even more. And so this little penalties like this is what we talked about in pregame, letting the emotion get to them and just little things that they got to be able to keep their composure from. As we see, he's not even close to the ball.
Yeah, it's just I think it was a reaction to getting thrown down. He was reacting. Still better to just run away from it. Plus, if you get down near that football and you slip or something goes crazy, that's a fumble. It could be picked up and taken to the house. So we'll see what they decide to call here. Yep, unnecessary roughness with the push in the back there. So Anderson quickly 3 penalties. And they'll take over half the distance to the goal. So 1st and 10 from the 4. Quick handoff. Gets the edge and a pickup of 3. That'll move them out of the shadows a little bit of their own end zone. Some extracurriculars going on. More on the run. Be a pickup of about 3, so a 2nd and 7 coming up.
And it looks like the emotions are flaring early in this one. The team captains and the leaders are going to have to get a hold of that, or else we're going to see a lot of laundry here on the field.
So 2nd and 6. Anderson out of gun. Aiden Meek scrambles, tries to stay out of the end zone. Is it going to be a safety? No, they'll mark him on the sack at the 1-yard line. So a 3rd and long coming up here. Did a good job of avoiding the safety, but great pressure there by the defense of the Spartans.
And you just see the offensive line collapse, maybe a miscommunication is that right tackle, and it seemed like the left tackle too didn't know who to hit.
Third down and 12 for Anderson.
So 3rd and long coming up at the goal line.
And I'm bringing both my inside linebackers here.
Jalen Grimes with credit for that sack. Quick handoff. Does get the edge, gets a little bit more out to the 10, still on his feet. Down to about the 16-yard line. I believe that'll be enough to move the sticks for a first down for the first time today for Anderson.
20, Tyler Clark on the carry, brought down by number 15.
And we just see here they're able to seal the edge, and he's able to just plant his foot in the ground and get upfield. To get that first down, I mean, that's really, really convenient of a situation for them being backed up all the way there and not ideal for Manchester at all.
And I think the play call there was, let's just try to get some yards to give our punter some room, and it ended up getting the edge, a couple of good blocks upfield. And for the first time today, Anderson will move the chains. It's 1st and 10, ball on the 15-yard line. Meeks pitches it out, right side, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. He will. And some great tackling there by Manchester. That was headed up by Jaquan Williams, the junior.
By number 9, Jaquan Williams.
Jaquan Williams with his second tackle. And again, Anderson on his 2nd down and long.
No gain on the play, 2nd down, 10 for the Ravens.
3 minutes gone by, first quarter. Anderson with the ball. They drive the started on their own 4-yard line after the penalty on the punt. Meek looks to throw under pressure, scrambles, throws it downfield, incomplete. We'll see if they call that intentional grounding.
It didn't look like there was anybody in the area.
There wasn't. I think the official's going to get together and talk about it.
If he got outside the tackle box somehow, though.
Yeah. Certainly was not. Let's see.
And he may have just gotten out. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he was looking for the receiver across the way and Lamson.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Offense.
So the emotions, as we talked about, you're 0-9 coming in for both squads. A rivalry game for the bronze ball. These players have probably played against each other in high school, and that's the 2nd unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for Anderson. So after a first down and the incompletion, it's going to push them back again inside of their own 10.
And they're right back where they started now with their backs against the wall, but if they're able just to give Meek a little bit of time, he might be able to find somebody.
8:51 to play. 2nd down and long. Meek out of shotgun, steps up, under pressure, and he's going to be caught, taken down, and sacked for the 2nd time this afternoon.
In that pocket, he just it starts out okay, and it just collapses very, very quickly. With Manchester's defensive line, it looks like they didn't bring anybody. It was just the defensive line getting the pressure there and collapsing that pocket.
So Huffman in on the sack as well. And another 3rd and long situation for Anderson after the penalty. Four wide set. Steps up in the pocket again. It is hit, knocked out, ball's loose. And Manchester might have recovered it. Blake Highflick dove on the football. We'll see where they mark it, and they're going to keep it with Anderson. So it'll be 4th down. They'll punt it from their end zone, but great defensive pressure on this drive from the D-line of Manchester.
And as we see here again, it looks like they may have brought one on the outside there, but it was just.
So a great hit there on the pursuit.
Hubbard, it looks like, knocked that out.
Yep, James Hubbard, the linebacker, the senior. Here's the punt, gets it off. Good kick, fielded at the 40. Good field position coming for the Spartans of Manchester. And on the return, stays on his feet. And I'll take it down to the 30-yard line. So that's where Manchester will start with their best field position on the afternoon after Dave Paul returned it 14 yards to the 30-yard line. Manchester coming back out. Second time on offense here. They went to the air a few times. They've got to keep the quarterback upright here if they're going to keep James in the pocket. Got knocked down a few times on that opening drive. So 1st and 10 coming up from the 30. Handoff, right side. Great blocking ahead, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Manchester on the board. Followed his blockers. Patient running there. And there's a flag on the play.
And it looked like.
So Cameron Hovey takes it to the house. We'll wait the penalty. Manchester not moving back.
I would have thought it could have been a holding here on the outside.
There's a hold right there.
They might let that one slip, though, and get him for running here on the track afterwards.
See if it's an unsportsmanlike. We'll wait the call here. A 30-yard touchdown run from Hovey, currently on the board.
Again.
So the yardage will be taken off on the kickoff. A 3rd unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for Anderson. Hovey's 30-yard touchdown stands. But that's 3 penalties in the first 5 minutes of this game. All unsportsmanlike conduct on Anderson.
Yeah. Yep. And that's going to be a problem for Anderson here, especially since they're not really getting a whole lot going on offense either.
So 6-0 to score after the 30-yard Hovey touchdown run. Extra point is up, and it is no good. We will take a break. 6:53 to go. Manchester at home strikes first. They lead Anderson 6-0. You're watching the Bronze Ball Game on HCAC.tv.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Almost halfway through the first quarter here of the Bronze Ball Game. Manchester strikes first. They take advantage of the short field on 1st and 10. A 30-yard touchdown run to go up 6-0. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. Before we get to that touchdown, 3 unsportsmanlike conduct calls here on Anderson early.
Yeah, and obviously it's a highly emotional game with the seniors having their last game and them being 0-9, not having won a game, and some things not going their way here early. But Manchester's in the same boat, and this could be a game of just winning the composure battle.
So Manchester will kick it off from the 50. They'll boot it deep, and it will be a touchback. So Anderson will start their 3rd possession of the first quarter from the 25-yard line. They've had some good spurts on the ground, but penalties have brought them back. They managed to get out of the safety on the last drive, and then the fumble was recovered here. What do you expect to see out of the Ravens on their third offensive possession?
And yeah, I don't know what we're going to see here, quite honestly. They need to mix something up because they have gotten a little bit going on the ground, but not enough to really drive the ball. They need to find a rhythm in the air. They most importantly need to find the protection because their quarterback, Meek is just getting completely meeked, honestly, in the backfield.
So Meek takes it, handoff quickly. He's got some room. And a great tackle there on the pursuit to go low and stop the gain. They may mark it as a pickup of 1. 2nd and long coming up for Anderson.
And see, the running game is kind of tricky because it's something that every team wants to establish, but honestly, you got to just know when to abandon it for a period of time if you're a team, because if you're not able to get the quick, easy runs outside and inside, then you really need to try to play with something else where this game is going to get away from you really, really quickly.
Second and 9. 3 wide receiver set. Handoff. Right side, and could not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 3. Jacob Holofield with the run. And a great pursuit there again by this defensive line, the defensive pressure for Manchester.
Yeah, and it's led by Hubbard out there, number 15. He's able to just do anything and everything he wants right now. I mean, you're going to need more than one blocker for him probably, especially if you're trying to go outside in. If you're passing, honestly, pick him up with your running back. But overall, great pressure by Manchester right now.
3rd and 13, just past the halfway point of the first quarter. HCAC conference game. Both teams looking for their first win on the season. Man in motion. 3-step drop. Meek fires and overthrew his man. He had him wide open down the seam, but the overthrow falls incomplete. And another 3 and out. And Anderson will punt it for the 3rd time in the first quarter. Looked like he had him down the seam. Would still be running if that ball was accurate, but he overthrows him. Missed opportunity there for the Ravens.
Yeah, he was wide open, and it's just I think he panicked a little bit in the pocket because it was collapsing, so he wasn't able to get his shoulder down and step into that. But that would have been 6 for him.
Here's the boot. It'll be fair caught at the 46-yard line. There was some contact with the punter. I don't see a flag down. I do see a flag down. So we'll see if this is running into or roughing. Didn't seem to be hard contact.
It looked like a little bit of a flop, but, I mean, you got to play that game to get these extra yards.
So we'll see the call here. They will re-kick it.
And usually when they re-kick it, I don't know, they might think about faking it or something.
Tough to do where you are here, right? You're going to move the football to the 27-yard line. Tough call there because they have gotten pressure on the 3 punts that we've seen. We'll see if that extra 5 yards was worth it, as Manchester is going to bring the house again.
If they get close to him, honestly, they probably just need to lay him out to get the ball to.
So great snap there, great punt, ball in the air, bounces. And it'll be fielded down at the 39-yard line, so they end up gaining the 5 yards on the kick anyway. And Manchester, after scoring from 30 yards out on their last possession, will take over. Good runs so far for Manchester. 5 minutes to go here, first quarter. What do you expect on their 4th drive?
Yeah, I expect that they'll probably stick to their running game a little bit as they're having a little bit of traction with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if sooner rather than later they let James start to cut it loose a little bit.
James out of shotgun, man in motion. Jet sweep, left side, hit immediately. And it goes for no gain. The handoff was to Darrell Moss Jr. He might have just got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and long coming up.
And it looks like there's a little bit of extra contact again after that play, this time for Manchester. But
there's a lot of talking going on out there today.
A lot of talking, a lot of extra hitting, you can tell these two teams don't like each other.
Hovey in the backfield with Eric James. 2nd and 10. Hovey handoff, lowers the shoulder at the line of scrimmage. And a great pursuit there by the Ravens defense to set up a 3rd down and long. They're going to mark it for a pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd and 8 coming up for Manchester.
Ball carried by number 25, Cameron Hovey. Gain of 2 on the play.
So Hovey with the only score so far here in this first quarter, that 30-yard touchdown run on 1st and 10. So 3rd and 7, the Spartans of Manchester. Darrell Moss Jr. checks out. Sorry, he's not. He is in the game, top of your screen. There's 2 number 4s.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to find him over the middle. The middle's wide open.
3-step drop. James looks to the right. Fires the sideline and overthrown. Was intended for LeVar Leisure. It goes incomplete, and Manchester will be forced to punt.
And it looked like he could have had him if he was able to get his shoulder down and step into that throw and not loft it. But my goodness, the middle of the field was wide open. They were in cover 2, and the last place you want to throw to is the outside on cover 2. As we can see, the middle is just, oh my goodness. I think my 4'11 grandma could have caught a pass in the middle of that.
So James will line up to punt it. He'll boot it. And I thought it was a fair catch. It was not. Spins out of a few tackles. Picks up about 2 yards on the pursuit.
And all kinds of extra contact.
So Anderson will start this drive from the 31-yard line. The offense has started slow, to say the least, for Anderson.
Yeah, both offenses have kind of started a little slow. Manchester's been able to find a little bit of a rhythm, but Anderson, it's going to be vital for them to find something, whether it's running the ball inside or outside, passing it short or long, something, because they haven't been able to get past the 40-yard line yet.
So 1st and 10, 3:25 to go. HCAC football action last weekend of the season. Anderson with a 3-wide look. 2 in the box for Manchester. And we're going to have a jump, and it looks like we'll see who went first. I believe it'll be a false start on Anderson. So penalties have been the name of the game here. A couple false starts and a couple unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Anderson, 6 penalties in this first quarter.
And the running back just jumped a little bit there. It looks like it could have been a miscommunication with, I don't know.
So 1st and 15, handoff. Met immediately spins out of it. Tries to cut back to get the line of scrimmage. Does. Gains about 2. And making a little something out of nothing there. But this defensive pressure for Manchester, they've been in the backfield often.
Yeah, they've been in the backfield often and quick, and they're also making sure that, as we can see here, he's going out of the game now. Like they make sure they feel getting hit to the ground, because they're doing anything and everything extra just short of a penalty after the play.
Playing to the whistle and a little bit beyond here. Lamson to the left. Tyler Clark in the backfield. Lines up next to Aiden Meek, the freshman quarterback out of Fort Wayne. And they're going to have another false start. So the 7th penalty in the first quarter here for Anderson. You're going to have these. I mean, when you're an 0-9 team, beating yourself, it's not a way to win football games.
No, not at all. And I mean, in the first quarter, they're letting their composure just completely fall, as we've seen with the unsportsmanlike, and then it creates a lack of focus, and now they're not even able to get a snap off right now. They really need to rally themselves and figure out how to focus here.
So 2nd and 18, pressure, dumped off screen, caught at the 20, breaks it to the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the first completion for Anderson on the day. And it's Julian Hogan, the former Indiana Wesleyan product. You know all about Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah, I went there for a little bit.
Great pursuit here, defensive pressure, and a nice job by Meek to stay with it. Make something out of nothing there. So a 2nd and 18 becomes a 3rd and I believe 14 after the 4-yard pickup to the 26-yard line.
In the middle of the field. It's going to be open for him.
Down the sideline, had an intended target, and an overthrow on 3rd and 16 will force Anderson to punt.
And it looks like he hit a receiver. He just wasn't in play.
And give credit here to Manchester's front four on that defensive line. Their pressure has been felt by this Anderson Ravens offense.
It looks like they're hardly blitz. Yeah, they didn't blitz again, and those front four linemen are able to do a little twist and rip and spin and move around and create that pressure and collapse the pocket. And Meek isn't even able to relax at all.
We have a timeout on the field. When we come back, more first quarter action. You're watching the Bronze Ball Game on HCAC.TV.
An active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We are back here from Manchester University as Anderson lines up for their 4th punt of this first quarter. Minute 47 to go in the battle for the bronze ball. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. 6-0, the advantage for Manchester. Good boot here. It's going to take a bounce around the 40, and it'll hold up, and Anderson will down it at the 37-yard line. Penalties have been a name of the game here for Anderson in the first quarter. Manchester, a 30-yard touchdown run on their last drive. Other than that, they haven't really moved the sticks as well. You've been wanting it to come. Is this where we see them unleash the passing attack?
I hope it is, because that, I believe, even though it could be the riskiest part of their offense, I think it's the most effective. If James is able to find a couple completions, get his confidence under his belt for this game, I think he can really take him to a victory here. But it seems like they're being a little conservative because of maybe the 3 interceptions in the first quarter the other week.
Quick handoff up the middle. Taken for a long gain, a pickup of 28 on 1st and 10. And a nice run there to move the sticks for these Spartans.
And he's able to just find a hole here, and he plants and he goes. But we see him hesitate a little bit, and then he just takes off like that and fall forward as a running back is so important.
So I believe that was Jamal Hollowell. And he'll air it out on 1st down, and the ball is slightly overthrown. Again, if you put that on the money, that might be in for a score.
Yeah, he had him there. He just had to plant his foot a little bit more and put his shoulder down, but he had Leisure there running on the sideline, and it looked like Leisure may have stopped just a tad bit. So with the ball not completely on the money and him hesitating a little bit, you're about 6 inches away from 6 points there.
They'll try a pass again to the right side, and another overthrow. So set up a 3rd down and long.
And it looks like they're staying conservative with it, which I get completely. as we're going to see here. He takes just a short dump, overthrows a little bit. It is what it is with that one, but I don't know. Like we've talked about at the beginning of this game, I'd be just risking it the entire time.
We'll have to check. We might have had a jersey number change. We'll see who the announcer calls number 20 here.
Number 20, Jalen Love on the carry.
Yeah, that's correct. Jalen Love. So it's not correct on our sheets.
He's usually number 2.
So change a little bit of number there for the running back out of Avon. 35 seconds to go, first quarter. 4th down coming for Manchester.
And if I'm them, I'm either finding Moss or Barnett in open field here.
Roll out under pressure, floats it, and throws it 6 yards out of bounds. I don't mind going for it there on 4th and 4, Peyton, but the play call, 4th and 4, Anderson's kind of proven defensively they haven't really been able to get any pursuit on the run.
Well, you have the play call here. You got 4 routes going to the outside, and if your quarterback is going to choose to, eyeball one side and roll to it, you got to have the backside crossing so he can look to them. But as we saw, it was like an out corner concept for both sides, which you need a pocket quarterback for that, and James uses his feet too much for that kind of concept.
So Jordan Barnett was open, but the overthrow gives the ball to Anderson. Under pressure, nowhere to go, and sacked in the backfield for a big loss. And Devontae Moore on the pursuit, the 5th-year senior out of North Central High School in Indianapolis with the sack, and that's how the first quarter of play will end. 1 quarter in the books from Manchester University. The home Spartans, with a 30-yard touchdown Cameron Hovey run, lead 6-0 as we see the replay here of the sack, and great pursuit there by Moore. It'll be 2nd down and long coming up to start the second quarter. You're watching the Bronze Ball Game on HCAC.tv.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Start of the second quarter from Manchester University. After the sack, Anderson with the football, 2nd down and long from the 18-yard line. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you here on HCAC.tv, powered by IndianaSRN. 2nd down, quick throw, caught, thrown back. Great play here, a little trickeration. Stays on his feet, gets it past the 50-yard line, down to the 45-yard line. I like the play call there, a little catch, pitch back and go.
And again, they had some extracurricular as we saw a flag come up there, but I love it. I love it. Last game of the year, you haven't won a game yet, and you haven't found anything to get you going. Hook and ladder, why not?
So Elijah Johnson with the hook and ladder takes it downfield for the first down. Sideline warning here on Anderson.
And as
so
we
he gets
see,
it down to the 45. A little trickeration there. That's what we've been waiting for, and it takes the first play of the second quarter to get there.
I love it. I love it. I say you just keep it going like this. Like, why do your normal plays? What do you have to lose? Like, flea flicker it up, reverse it, hook and ladder, why not?
What was your favorite trickeration play?
They used to send me in motion and let me throw it. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I like it.
A little halfback pass kind of thing.
Quick handoff up the middle. Breaks out of 2 or 3 tackles. gets a positive pickup on 1st and 10, pick up a 4. 2nd down and 6 on the run there.
A good trick play they can have is if they have a receiver who can throw it, you line up in like a diamond.
Yeah.
Out to the left or right, have him lined up in the back, throw it to him, have someone else from the other side of the field go deep, and he chucks it.
So P.J. Davis with the run on 1st down. Out of shotgun, 2nd and 7. Handoff again, Davis. Tries to make one man miss and does. Gets to the 38-yard line, so a 3rd and short here. This is the first that we've seen this Anderson offense start finding momentum and positive yards.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a more positive energy going now that they were able to have a big gainer there. And hopefully they can build off of it and find some momentum. They got all the confidence in the world right now.
Little hesitation here, gets the edge. So 3rd and short. Peyton, I think we're probably in agreement here. This is 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think anywhere on the field for them today is 4-down territory. Even if you are in field goal range, I mean, why kick a field goal right now? Again, it's your last game of the year.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Play action under pressure. Shakes out of it. Meek will keep it. And he will slide down just shy of the 1st down marker, but a good decision there to keep it. Scramble out of harm's way and pick up positive yardage. So a 4th, and it looks like 2 yards coming up here.
And they got a 4th and short. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of like the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback sneak, push.
That's been it's been a huge play since the Eagles kind of put that in their arsenal. We've seen other NFL teams do it. Tons of college teams, tons of high school teams. Handoff, 4th down. Tries to stretch forward, and he's going to be just short. So a great defensive pursuit there by Manchester, and Anderson turns it over on downs.
And again, it's led by those front 4. Those front 4 are able to get enough pressure to where the linebackers can read and fill, as we're going to see here. They're able to just step down and meet them straight at the line of scrimmage because, again, of that push from the front 4 defensive linemen.
So 12:08 to play, 1st half. And Manchester takes over. So Anderson's first real offensive drive that showed positive yardage goes for naught as they're stuffed on 4th and 1. Here's a handoff, right side. Good enough for the 1st down. We're going to have a late hit, it looks like, as the flag comes in. So Josiah Smith with the run. Enough for a 1st down. We'll see what the penalty is. There's a penalty marker back here at the 45-yard line. I wasn't sure if it was a late hit. And it'll be a face mask on Anderson. So their 8th penalty will add to the 1st down yardage. And Manchester into Anderson territory. Marked out originally at about the 47-yard line. So they will have it from the 37 after the face mask. And Manchester offense in business here, looking for their 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Yeah, and as a team like Anderson in this game, once you get a few unsportsmanlike penalties, the refs are a little bit flag happy sometimes. So as a team, you got to be ultra careful just within the little things as well. Like even if you graze the face mask, they're going to call it.
So run here. Anderson scoots out of it, but he's going to be tackled back for a loss. So 2nd and long coming up here from the 25-yard line. So Simpson with the tackle.
He was a little slow to get up. It looks like he's all right, though.
So a 3rd and 13 coming up here for Manchester. Or 2nd and 13. Clock ticks. 11:21 to go, 1st half.
And I was wondering why they didn't throw it up to Barnett, but it looks like they're putting someone over top of him every time as well. But Moss was open.
Play action. Steps into it and throws it behind the intended target. And that'll set up a 3rd and long, but we have a flag, and I believe it'll be an ineligible man downfield. We'll await the call here. But the penalty markers are flying here in this first half.
Yeah, they well, you got two teams, like we've said, high emotion. So sometimes you don't really focus as well as you need to. And like little things like this, like as a lineman, you got to know that you can't go past the line of scrimmage at all, or that flag's coming right out.
So back to the 35-yard line. James, play action, steps up again. Oh, that's a replay. I was like, well, that looked exactly like we just saw.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's exactly what we just saw.
The lineman was running a post.
James under pressure, steps up, has some room to run here, gets to the 30, stays on his feet. He was hit. I like the no flag here because he hesitated on giving himself up.
He did hesitate, and quite honestly, if a defender is going to hit you at your midsection and just jump over him, you're going to jump for 4 yards, and he would have a first down here.
So Manchester looking to make this a 2-possession game, leading 6-0. One-on-one coverage. Left side, and we're going to have a timeout, and we'll take it with them. 10:15 to go. A 4th and 4 coming up for Manchester. You're watching the Browns ball game on HCAC.TV.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
The Browns ball game from the campus of Manchester University here on HCAC.TV. Manchester with a 6-0 lead, 10:15 to go first half, and a 4th and 4 coming up. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. Shotgun snap, handoff, and Jalen Love cannot get back to the line of scrimmage, and he is stuffed. So both teams in their last 2 possessions stopped on 4th down. Anderson will take over with the ball on their own 27-yard line.
And, I mean, it could be an unpopular opinion here, but if it's not 4th and inches, I think you need to be throwing the ball because most likely not only are they going to run some type of twist on their defensive line, they're probably going to bring some extra heat, which makes their run next to impossible if you don't call the exact right run play. So some kind of short passing pattern I feel like would have been better there.
Yeah, and we've been waiting for them to unleash this passing attack. 2 weeks ago, when they scored 21 points in the first quarter, yeah, he had 3 interceptions, but they were flinging the ball downfield. He also had 3 touchdowns.
And they were also up by 14 points at halftime.
So Meek takes over for Anderson, throws left side, caught, immediately tackled down, pick up a 5 on forward progress. 2nd and 5, but a great job there by Anderson to gain yards through the air on first down. We haven't seen that yet in the first half.
Yeah, and for Anderson and Manchester both, if Meek is able to find his rhythm and James is able to find his rhythm, they're going to feed off the quarterback's confidence. So if the quarterback can find any type of confidence within this game here on both sides of the ball, I think the whole team is going to feed off of it.
Dietrich Johnson, the tight end, with his first reception of the afternoon. 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5, 9:32. Anderson looking for the end zone for the tie and potential go-ahead with the extra point. Handoff, has some room. It's right to the sticks. They're going to mark him short by about 1.5 yards, so a 3rd and short coming up here for Anderson. And I believe even here you're in 4-down territory.
I'd say anywhere on the field in this game is 4-down territory, but
Especially on 3rd or 4th and short, which 3rd and 2 coming up here.
Exactly, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had maybe a hard count situation here, or if not that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they ran the ball, but you just send this tight end here on the right side on a little bow route, he'll be wide open.
I'll hand it off. Met at the line of scrimmage. Jumps forward for a pickup of 2. And it's still going to be just short. Huffman with the tackle on the pursuit. And Tyler Clark's run goes officially for no gain, so a 4th and 2 coming up.
And if they line up in the same formation, they have that wing or tight end. They're not going to be in the same spot. But that tight end or wing would have been wide open on a quick out.
So 4th and 1. We'll have a timeout. Anderson will take it with him. 8:02 to go, first half. Big 4th down coming up for Anderson. They trail Manchester 6-0. You're watching the HCAC.TV.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. The Browns ball game from Manchester University. The home Spartans lead 6-0 over Anderson in a 4th and 1 here. Peyton, we going tush push?
Tush push it is.
And there it is.
And
plenty of forward momentum. The progress will give them enough for the first down. Move the chains for Anderson. Anderson received the opening kick. So Spartans will start the second half with the football. And you just let the big boys behind you push you. And it's enough for the first down.
And it's hard telling how to actually stop that. I mean, you can cause all the disturbance at the bottom of the pile, but that's not going to stop them from falling forward.
So Anderson with the 1st and 10. Play action. Stepping up in the pocket. Meek going to keep it. And picks up 6 yards. So a 2nd and 4 coming up.
And these concepts are kind of tough for him to find something because it's crossing tight patterns, but it's also a little short. And you just see a bunch of jumbled kind of mess with the linebackers and everything. You're not really able to find someone wide open. Maybe on the outside there.
Looks like the refs had a pick there on him. On the 46-yard line, 2nd down. Anderson out of shotgun. Meek, handoff, and met immediately in the backfield for a loss of 3.
Number 20, Tyler Clark on the carry. He is dropped in the backfield by number 97.
And again, it's from this front 4 that we're seeing this pressure.
And they've been doing a great job. It'll be a 3rd and 9 coming up. The Bremen, Indiana native Sam Huffman, the senior, with the pursuit and the tackle for loss. So we reach the halfway point here of the second quarter. Manchester, it was a Hovey 30-yard touchdown run midway through the first quarter. Your scoring so far. Under pressure again, and Meek tries to throw it downfield. And it's incomplete.
He may have had him there a little bit, but it looks like he made his mind up before the ball even was snapped, which could be detrimental, but regardless, great stop again by Manchester.
So 4th and 9 here. We talked about 4-down territory. I think on a 4th and 9 here, you're going to have to punt it, knowing that you can't give Manchester good field position, especially because they could steal a possession back by having the football to start the second half.
Yeah, and it looks like that could be detrimental to Anderson, giving him the ball back here, because they might try to run the clock out and then score and then get it right back and have a chance to score again.
Here's the boot. Takes an Anderson bounce. It's going to keep rolling. And it'll be down right at the goal line. Pat McAfee would approve of that one. And a great punt, a great flip of field position. And we may have a flag, some whistles being blown. A stellar kick.
And that one just rolled. It just rolled for him because I don't know, it didn't have a whole lot of hang time on it.
So Manchester with the sideline warning. And they will take over in the shadows of their own end zone. We'll have some stats for you coming up at halftime. 5:46 to go. One team will wrap it up with no wins on the season, and someone will walk off into the locker room with their first victory of the year. Last game of the year, and we're going to have a safety.
He didn't get past.
I don't think he got it.
That's a safety.
We'll wait the official call, and they're going to mark it second down.
It didn't look like he got out of the end zone there.
Anderson signaling for a safety. Our guy Nick will get us a nice replay here.
He didn't get out.
I don't think that he did from our angle. Certainly Anderson thought it was a safety. We'll wait the call. So Anderson charged with their 4th unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And you go from thinking you have a safety to giving Manchester a first down, and more importantly, giving them room to breathe, not out of their own shadows of their end zone. They'll mark the football at the 16-yard line. Excuse me, the 15-yard line.
And that's going to kill them this game. They gotta figure out how to reel that in a little bit. All these late hits and extra activity after the play. I mean, if they didn't call it a safety there, they had a very reasonable chance at another one, but not anymore.
Under pressure, quick throw, left side, incomplete. And we've waited for this passing game from James to get going. He's now 2 of 8 for just 3 yards in this first half.
And I think it would be a little more better statistics there if they let him sling it down the field, because these incomplete, he's only been throwing it for short routes, and he maybe has thrown one wheel or seam, but as we saw a few weeks ago and that we've mentioned, when he's able to get it going a little bit, he's able to find a rhythm.
And Serena Smith catches a screen pass left side and gets it to the 20-yard line.
Number 25, Cameron Hovey on the carry.
Yeah, a little bit more extracurricular going on.
Gain of 4 on the play.
So a quick 4-yard toss here. Nice play, had some blockers ahead of him.
And it was inches away from being a pick six, too.
You got to be careful on those long screen passes. So mark the football at the 20-yard line after the pickup of 4, 2nd down and 6. Excuse me, 3rd down, just the 3rd completion of the afternoon for James. He'll step up, looks, fires back across his body, caught at the 31-yard line. Enough for the first down. And it's Leisure with his 2nd catch of the game. And that's a first down.
I love it when you give James just a little bit of time and you let him look down the field. He can be dangerous. As we've said multiple times and as we have seen, the offensive line has given him time here. He's able to find his receiver and plant his foot and step into it. And even had Barnett open there on the bottom of the screen, too.
Great job by the offensive line there of the Spartans for holding up, allowing James to have some time. And he fires his 3rd completion. And now they're going to go long, airing it out for... Had a man, but overthrew him. like the play call there on first down, though, to go downfield.
I like it a lot, too. If he was able to get it just a few inches inside a little bit, maybe about a foot back, it was right in his breadbasket. But I would not go away from that, though, just because it didn't work one time. I'd keep being aggressive down the field there.
So the drive for Manchester that started at the goal line, looking for some space, quick out route to the right side, and that's going to fall incomplete. Intended for Leisure. So 3rd and 10 coming up. 3:46 to play. First half. Again, Manchester will receive the second half kickoff. We'll have stats at halftime. Look back the first half. We'll get Peyton's plays to watch. Over the top. Left side. Caught. Touchdown, Manchester. So James delivers one. Puts it right on the numbers. And Jordan Barnett, the sophomore, does the rest. Touchdown. Flag on the play.
And he's going to get called for taunting.
Last game of the year, trying to get your first win. You go up by 2 scores. Barnett just got a little bit of separation there, and a great thrown ball by James.
And as we're going to see here, it looks like he points or something at him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. That's tough.
Hopefully that doesn't take the touchdown away.
I think it was after the play. But yeah, I think there'll be some talking, too, at halftime coming up here on both squads for unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Results of the play, touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 1. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So Barnett goes 70 yards on the touchdown to make Manchester's lead double to 12-0, extra point pending. Bobble snap, they're going to roll out, and it's going to be caught. 2-point conversion, good. They get the 2 points back. And Manchester leads 14-0, 3:36 to go first half. You're watching the Bronze Ball game on HCAC.tv. $99 yards the drive for Manchester. And a 70-yard touchdown strike from James DeBarnett here, as you see. 2-point conversion, good on the fake field goal attempt. And Manchester, who will kick it deep. See, this is planned. It's a bad snap.
He gets up right away, though, and
yeah, I think that was planned all along.
Yeah.
So after the missed extra point on their first touchdown, they get those points back, and it's 14-0. Manchester. The taunting penalty on the touchdown will be ensued on the kick. And we saw them go for a onside kick this last 2 weeks ago when they were deep like that. Anderson got to be careful here. They might want to get to the line there at the 30-yard line.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they called that again. Last game of the year, why not? And they're offset on one side.
They'll boot it deep downfield, and it'll go out of bounds. So kickoff out of bounds will be Anderson's ball. How do you handle this final 3 minutes and change here, knowing that Manchester will get the football? You don't want to give it back to them. Do you go conservative, try to just keep that clock running? Or are you going to try to find some points before this half ends with 3:36 to go?
I wouldn't be completely conservative, but I would definitely possess the ball because you don't want to give it back to Manchester right before half. So I would be a little aggressive, but take your time snapping the ball. Use the whole play clock, keep it inbounds, and try to run that clock down as much as possible right before you score. Because when you go conservative, I think teams think way too much, and that's when they mess up.
So the taunting penalty made the kickoff at the 20-yard line, and then the kickoff out of bounds puts it at the 50. So Anderson starts midfield. Quick handoff. Good pursuit there. Pickup of 7. We have an injury, it looks like, to an Anderson player.
Number 14, P.J. Davis on the carry, brought down by number 15, Jamal Hubbard. Gain of 6 on the play, brings up second down and 4 for the Ravens.
So we'll keep it right here. It'll be a second down and a long 4 yards here. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. Anderson looking for their first score of the afternoon into Manchester territory. Under 3 to play first half. Handoff left side. Good pursuit. First down. And move the sticks here for Anderson.
Number 14, P.J. Davis on the carry, brought down.
Daniels picks up about 16 yards, enough for the first down, and Anderson going to go quick with some tempo.
First down. It'd be Ravens ball, first down and 10. It's a Spartan 35.
2:34 to play. First and 10. Meek. Handoff. Met at the line of scrimmage, and a great job there by the pursuit on the defensive side of the football for Manchester for a loss of 2.
And even though they were able to have a good run the first 2 plays of this drive here, they gotta. I think they gotta find something in the passing game, not only for the whole game, but this drive especially, because if you rely just on the run with how these front 4 are playing, you're not going to really succeed with it.
So Grimes with the defensive pressure there into the backfield for the loss. Second and 11, 1:56 to go. Meek rolls to the right side, picks up a blocker, still looking downfield, fires it off the hands of the intended target. Dietrich Johnson incomplete. So third and long. Clock stops on the incompletion. Under 2 minutes to play.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a shot down the middle here, depending on what kind of... Yep, the middle's wide open. Wait. Middle is wide open. I'm throwing... Oh, my goodness. Touchdown on a post route.
Peyton Brown wants the middle. Under pressure, finds it, overthrown, picked off.
He was there.
Picked off. They had the play. Peyton Brown called it.
He was wide open.
But the pressure put on the quarterback, and it's picked off, intercepted by Manchester.
He just didn't throw it early enough. He had his man right off his cut. Right now, throw it right now. And it was just a little late.
And Dave Paul with the interception on the overthrow. Give some credit, like we have all first half, to this defensive line for Manchester.
Yeah, they've been able to get the pressure. That's why he wasn't able to throw it when he should have. And causes him to throw it off his back foot, goes a little high. Great job.
So 2 timeouts left for Manchester. They'll hand it off and get nowhere. They'll elect to keep their timeouts in their pocket with 1:30 to go here first half. And a 14-0 Manchester lead. Bronze Bell game on HCAC.TV.
And I'm letting James sling it here. I mean, you got the clock's ticking quite a bit off here. Only a minute left.
Mount St. Joseph leading 34-13, and an interception. Picked off. Not what you wanted if you're Manchester, and Anderson will take over with 54 seconds to go and 1 timeout.
And I don't know. I think the amount of time Manchester took to call a play maybe gave Anderson time to adjust to something, because we know James is going to try to go to Barnett, which he does.
Ooh.
And they're able to sit on it a little bit, but if they didn't run 30 seconds off the clock and ran with a little bit of urgency, maybe they could have found someone.
Ricky Bell, the linebacker out of Texas, breaks the route and gets in there just in time for the interception. And Anderson, with 54 seconds to go, takes over from the 28-yard line. Disastrous sequence there for Manchester. Under pressure, batted down, incomplete.
Looked like he may have had him too, if he was able to get that ball out over him.
So Manchester shows blitz. DeAndre Kirby.
Little halfback screen here, trying to set up.
Gets the paws up and bats that one away. 2nd down. 50 seconds to play, first half, 14-0 Manchester.
And again, they're in cover 2.
Man in motion. Meek steps up, under pressure, goes down and sacked. For the 4th sack of the afternoon for Manchester.
And it was the front 4 plus 1, a little twist and a blitz there, and confused the offensive lineman enough to get a sack there on Meek.
It's Devontae Moore, his 2nd of the afternoon for the North Central product. So we have a timeout, Anderson. So a 3rd and long coming up. We'll keep it here. A little back and forth here over this final 2.5 minutes of this.
Throw it downfield, but he can't if he gets suffocated every single play. So that offensive line has to hold a little bit here for Meek so he can find somebody downfield.
So 3rd and long. Meek out of shotgun, 3 wide receiver set. Rolls out under pressure, fires it back, has a man caught at the 30, 20, 15, stays on his feet. He stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds at the 13-yard line. And the biggest play of the afternoon comes at the right time.
Nice hit at the end there by Hubbard, though. But great play call. What a design for a play. A little tight end throwback. He's wide open. Nobody even saw it coming because he started on the right side of the field and he came back, and Meek was able to just sell it enough and get enough protection out of his offensive lineman to find him and make that pass.
33 seconds to go. You're obviously thinking 7 points here. Cut this lead in half as Manchester will receive the second half kickoff. Out of shotgun comes Meek. Fakes the handoff under pressure, and he's going to be tackled. And Anderson is out of timeouts. They're going to have to go quick here.
Clock it. Clock it.
We're going to have a timeout called by Manchester. Manchester takes a timeout. We'll keep it here.
Surprising.
You can't take a sack with no timeouts. A 2nd and 20 coming up. I mean, are we looking at 3 shots to the end zone here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down? You try to get a chunk play, you're going to have to get out of bounds. And we've seen the accuracy just hasn't been there for Meek when he's throwing in the boundary.
Yeah, the accuracy hasn't been there, but I would say try to get something with a comeback or a deep out on 2nd down. 3rd down, let's say you get 10 yards down the field. You try to find some type of shot, maybe over the middle to the end zone. If that doesn't work, then I'm finding my best receiver and I'm just throwing it up to him. It's hard telling if you're even going to get the 4th down with 16 seconds left.
2nd and 20. Anderson offense on the field, as deep into Manchester territory as they've been all afternoon. 3 wide, top of your screen. We'll see a little misdirection here, maybe some trickeration. Meek has it, steps up, fires to the back of the end zone, and overthrown. Double coverage, incomplete, 3rd down coming out.
And I like that play call there on 2nd down. I mean, at least taking 1 shot to the end zone. But like you mentioned, maybe it's 3 straight shots to the end zone. At this point, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Trying to get points on the board right before half. I wouldn't settle for a field goal.
You just don't have time to throw the football anywhere else. Down the seam, right down the middle, right there again, wide open.
And Manchester is either coming out in a straight cover 2 or they're disguising it and then rolling to a cover 2 here. But regardless, like the middle is wide open right now.
3rd down. Meek fires the end zone, up and grabs, picked off, and heading for Johnson. And Manchester going to try to return this out of 20. Gets a block. He's at the 30. And it'll be pushed out of bounds. And that's how the first half of football will end. On the 3rd Anderson Rave interception. Picked off at the goal line. And that's how we will end first half of play. It was Dave Paul with his second interception of the afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like he went middle there. Again, a little overthrown. I don't know if that was trying to or not. It looked like it, but again, great defense stands by man, secondary and their front four now.
We have reached halftime ball game here at HCAC. Manchester with a 14-0 advantage over Anderson. We'll be back. You're watching HCAC.TV, powered by IndianaSRN.
I'm actually a 5th-generation student here at Manchester. All 4 of my grandparents went to Manchester. Both of my parents went to Manchester as well. I followed in the footsteps of my older brother as well in coming here. And that's kind of been a fun tradition to hear everybody's stories from Manchester while also making my own memories here. I didn't originally want to go to Manchester due to how close it was to home, but I toured here first and I really loved this warm, inviting campus where people would open doors for you. And people would stop on the sidewalk and catch up for 5 to 10 minutes. And when I was looking at other schools, I really missed that opportunity, that feeling of being at home. I realized that Manchester is really where I fit in and where I belonged. My 2 pieces of advice would be to get involved really early on. There are a lot of great clubs on campus and organizations to be a part of. You get to find people who are like you and enjoy the same interests and activities as you, and it's a chance to grow as a person and to make a great group of peers and community and friends around you. My other piece of advice would be to travel abroad. Manchester has this really unique tradition with our January term classes, and that's been probably one of my favorite experiences I've ever had here. And I've had the awesome opportunity to travel off campus 3 times. I'm signed up right now to go on the Hawaii cross-cultural class. That's actually a fun one for me because that's a class that my grandfather started, traveling to Hawaii to learn about the different cultures there in cross-cultural psychology. So I'm really hoping it gets to go, but if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll still get to learn about cross-cultural psychology and go to Hawaii at some point in my life. Another one I went on was a medical practicum to Guatemala, and that was a life-changing experience. We went with 10 to 15 healthcare providers to a rural area in Guatemala that doesn't get healthcare on a yearly basis. And so it was amazing to see these healthcare providers provide care in an up-close and personal view. My mom, Lori Zimmerman, was also a part of the medical practicum. Most kids get to visit their parents on the Take Your Kid to Work day. And I've never gotten to see her work until we were in Guatemala and I got to work with her for a day. And that was really interesting to see the impact she has on people, see the tenderness as she works with people, but also the intelligence as she's running through her head, all the different diagnoses it could be, the best way to present information. It's really interesting to see how she uses her liberal arts Manchester education to apply the psychology as well as the communication she's learned with her medical advice and her experience. So that was a life-changing experience to be able to really immerse myself into the field of healthcare.
The direction of Dr. Scott Humphreys and
My name is Samantha Huber. I'm a national security, political science, and criminal justice major. Coming out of high school, what I really wanted in a college was somewhere that I could pursue both political science, journalism, and also just the national security aspect of things, or security studies, but also that had lacrosse, because I really wanted to play lacrosse. And so I found that AU had all of those things, and that really attracted me to it. So over the summer, I lived and worked in DC for a little bit at US Customs and Border Protection in their Office of Intelligence, working to support intelligence products about migration and human smuggling from Lebanon and Syria. I wanted to do something that actually made a tangible difference and actually dealt with bigger issues. Not that other things aren't important, but I just wanted to do something where I could see the impact it would really make. Just working in both on the journalism side of things and then also on the government side of things, I've just been able to see how those two ends need to work together to really balance each other out and actually work well, and why they're both needed. So I'm the kind of person who's always looking for ways to better myself and to grow as a person and a student, and AU is definitely the best place to do that.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
The number one reason that I love teaching at Manchester, it has to be the people. And I know that probably a lot of us give that same answer, but for me, it has become even more personal. I get to not only teach, which I absolutely love, and I get to work with future educators and other people in the educational field, but I also get to establish those long-term relationships with them that just feed a part of my soul that I can't imagine having filled by anything else.
There's also so many opportunities at Manchester to collaborate with great faculty. We can collaborate on teaching, we can collaborate on research, and we can collaborate on service. I am thrilled to be at Manchester because I chair the President's Diversity and Inclusion Council, and we have been working tirelessly to make Manchester a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive place.
One of the things I love about being at Manchester is the variety of things that we get to do. Going on Jan term trips with students is probably one of my favorite things to do. So we usually take trips to France, Hawaii, and Disney World, actually, and teach there. Each place we go, we teach something a little different, and we get to experience it again the way a student experiences, and that to me is incredibly fun.
I teach at Manchester because I believe in the mission of the school, and I also enjoy the fact that my discipline, which is music, is respected by my colleagues and the students here. It's considered an academic subject rather than an extracurricular activity.
One of the stories I remember is a student who started off at Manchester as a biology major. He wanted to do something different, and so his biology professor walked him across campus. He signed up for one of my classes, and then he ended up as an English major, and now he actually has a master's in English, and it was all because that biology professor realized maybe he had a better fit somewhere else on campus. She walked him a few feet across the mall from the Science Center to the Academic Center, and we sat in my office and chatted, and it was the kind of thing we could do at a school like Manchester.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We thought it would be fun to do a mashup of the theme from the
At halftime of the Bronze Ball game here on HCAC.TV, Manchester with a 14-0 lead over Anderson. This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and HCAC.TV. For the private use of our audience, the use of pictures, video, and audio without the express written permission of the HCAC is prohibited. Tony Donahue with you, Peyton Brown as well. Some stats in that first half. Only 7 first downs for Manchester, 5 for Anderson. Anderson has ran the ball 26 times for just 17 yards, while Manchester has ran the ball 11 times for 86 yards. Manchester averaging 7 yards per carry. Anderson averaging not quite a yard. That's been a huge difference here this first half.
Yeah, it has been a huge difference. If any team can find a rhythm with the run game, it sets up everything else because you can do play action. You can just go straight pass because they'll be on their heels for their run game if you're able to run it well. So as we see, Manchester having more success running the ball puts them in the lead. Anderson not finding as much. And like mentioned a few times in the first half, Anderson has to try to find something in the pass game.
5 of 14 for 87 yards to the air for Manchester. And as you mentioned, 4 of 13 for just 61 yards for Anderson, and the 2 interceptions that came there late in the first half. Another big stat, penalties, 8 for Anderson, a total of 70 yards. 5 of those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Yeah, they got to find a way to keep their composure, and we mentioned a few times, like, they got to reel it in because those penalties not only is taking away good field position for them, but it's also setting Manchester up for better field position, putting them in the end zone a few times here. And obviously neither team has won a game. The seniors are on their last game here. There's high emotion and all that, but if you want to find a win your last time as a senior and for the first time this season, you cannot have these costly little penalties.
What's the message in the locker room? Like, there's been some unsportsmanlike conduct. It happened early and often. I mean, it happened on the second play of the game. There's been a couple sideline warnings on both sides. If you're the coaching staff, what are you telling those kids in the locker room right now?
On both sides of the ball, honestly, if I'm the coach for either team here, I'm telling them that, look, we're 0-9. We have no room to really be letting our emotions get to us right now in that sense because we got no room to talk, but also we're trying to find our first win here. And if we're just acting out of emotion the entire time and hitting late and doing these costly little things that are in our control, because there are some things that isn't in your control, but the unsportsmanlike in our control, if we're doing those things, we're not going to find a win.
Yeah, both teams have punted the football Anderson has punted it 5 times for an average of 40 yards, 2 punts for Manchester, 41 yards. Time of possession here. Again, Manchester is leading 14-0, but their defense has been on the field a very long time. 20 minutes of offensive possession for Anderson. Manchester, obviously, a 70-yard touchdown strike and a 30-yard touchdown run on a first play of a drive. But this Manchester defense has been on the field a lot.
Yeah, they have been, and they've been able to succeed a lot as well, keeping them obviously out of the end zone. But it's led by those front 4 defensive linemen, as we talked about, with Hubbard up there, number 15. And just bringing people off twists and blitz and everything, causing chaos there, is making it really easy for their secondary. But I think in this second half, Manchester does need to figure out a way to possess the ball, because if their defense gets too tired, Anderson inevitably will find a way into the end zone, and that's the last thing that Manchester wants, is to give them any breathing room. Manchester with a 14-0 halftime lead here at home on the final game of the season, the Bronze Ball game on HCAC.tv. Hey, we want to thank Officially Human. We want to thank today's officials for their dedication and hard work. Without them, we do not play. If you don't have anything nice to say, please don't say anything at all. Sportsmanship is everyone's job, fresh off of talking about those penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct. Hey, we want to thank Tam Sweet and Savory Cafe as well. If you're looking for a great food for breakfast or lunch, please check out Tam Sweet and Savory Cafe. They also specialize in baked goods, so waiting for Keith Myers to drop us off some. They have daily specials and are open Wednesday through Sunday, 8 to 2, so they are open right now. Tam Sweet and Savory Cafe, 6427 Oak Landon Road in Indianapolis. We'll get Peyton's keys to the second half and more. You're watching HCAC.tv.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year. Come on, get your head out of your sacks. Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo.
You saying I did?
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back. Live coverage of the Bronze Ball game on HCAC.tv. We've reached halftime where Manchester leads it 14-0 over Anderson. He got on the board in the first quarter with a 30-yard touchdown rush from Hovey and a 70-yard touchdown pass to Barnett. The difference here, 14-0. We went through some of the stats. Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. Keys to the second half here. Let's start with Anderson, whose offense has been on the field for 20 minutes in that first half.
Yeah, Anderson, number one key to the second half here is get rid of those unsportsmanlike penalties, and it'll set you up for greater success. But number two, offensively, having the ball that long, I wouldn't be surprised if they had it that long again. Because oftentimes there isn't too much change between a first and second half. But if they're going to have that ball that long, they need to find a rhythm in the passing game. They need to be able to give their quarterback time to actually throw because the pocket collapses nonstop for him. And then Mika's getting sacked all the time. And he's not able to really make a smart decision throwing the ball, as we saw with 2 picks there at the end of the first half. But if they're able to find some kind of rhythm with the passing game, I think they'll be able to find the end zone a few times.
Manchester, quick strikes on 2 possessions. That's kind of where that time of possession has came from. But their defense has been on the football field a lot. Are we going to see more James going downfield? He has that 70-yard touchdown strike.
I think in the third quarter we will see James going for it. I think they'll let him just cut it loose a little bit. But in the fourth quarter, if I'm Manchester's head coach, I'm possessing the ball as long as I possibly can, even if I don't score. Because if you're up a few touchdowns, maybe score 1 or 2, hold Anderson to nothing in the third quarter and possess the ball for half of the quarter each possession you have in the fourth quarter, then you'll be able to come out of this game with a win.
And keeping a cool head, I think, is huge, too. There's been a lot of yards on both sides that have been given due to penalties and unsportsmanlike conduct calls. You've been there. You've been in the locker room where, things don't go right. You've been in a locker room where things are going right. For Manchester, you're up 14-0, pursuing your first victory of the season. Anderson, you can't kill yourself by having these penalties that keep putting you in situations that are 3rd and long, 4th and long. How do you keep a level header in the second half?
Yeah, on both sides of the ball, I think your leaders just need to step up because it's in the veterans on the field who are getting these penalties and who are letting their cool slip away from them. And the whole team is going to follow you if you're a captain, a leader, a senior, whatever, and you're on the field and you're just letting your emotions get to you. So those seniors, those leaders, those captains, they need to reel it in because the coaches can only do so much. So if they reel it in, the rest of the team will reel it in, and then they'll be able to finally – just find something to get it going.
Manchester will receive the second half kickoff when we come back. You're watching the Bronze Ball Game on HCAC.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you here, HCAC.TV, powered by IndianaSRN. As we get ready to start the second half of play from Manchester University, the Browns ball on the line here in the second half, where Manchester has a 14-0 lead. And let's discuss how they got here. That 70-yard touchdown pass put them up, a 30-yard touchdown run. But it's been hit or miss on the offensive side of the football for Manchester.
Yeah, it's been hit or miss for both of them, and they need to stick to what is going well. And Anderson still needs to find their rhythm, but what goes well for Manchester is they have a few quick hit inside runs, but James slinging it down the middle or slinging it down the sideline. The short passes can win the game for you, but it's just not his style as we've seen. And, yes, he's risky when he throws the ball sometimes, but if they're letting him just find his rhythm, then he'll be able to have success with it.
So Anderson boots the opening second half kickoff. Fielded, bounce at the 10. It doesn't quite pick it up and lands on it immediately as Anderson was in pursuit. It's a little bit of maybe a sun issue there on the kick. and Manchester will start this possession from the 21-yard line.
And that could have been terrible for him to start the half here, as we see. You always want to catch it kind of with your hands, not really with your chest there, because it'll just bounce right off as it does. And then at that point, you just got to fall on it. You can't try to pick it up and run with it. You just need to fall on it.
First down and 10. They're on 21-yard line.
So Manchester with the football. Up 10-0. Excuse me, up 14-0. Handoff, left side. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Forward progress, a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for Manchester.
Maybe they're using the run to set up the pass for him. We really haven't gotten to see James sling it like we did a few weeks ago.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down, 8 for the Spartans.
Are you changing if you're Manchester? Are you maybe trying to set yourself up for some play action downfield?
I could definitely see that. I could also see him. They're taking a long time to snap the ball, like we talked about in pregame, just possessing it.
Yeah.
If I see their thought process here, if you get some yards on 1st and 2nd down, which they weren't able to probably get as much as they wanted, then it's a 3rd and short. So your whole playbook is open. You can run the ball, you can throw a short pass, even throw it down the field if you want. But they're faced with, it seems like a 3rd and 7 now.
So a 3rd and long. Minute gone by, second half. Manchester looking to add to their 14-point lead. Anderson shows blitz. 3-step drop. James fires it. Underthrown. Incomplete on the pursuit. No penalty flags, and Manchester on the first possession will be forced to punt.
Pass is incomplete, bring up 4th down.
And it's probably going to be a pooch punt here, but he just barely underthrows him. If he's able to just get a few more. I mean, I don't even know if it was really open because he would have gotten clocked by the safety probably there. But
it almost looked like the only opportunity he had was for it to be thrown under and come back and get it. Maybe get yourself a PI call, but nonetheless incomplete. And it'll be a quick 3 and out here. And Manchester's defense, despite the halftime breaks, as long as they've been off the field, they'll come right back on as only a minute 26 has gone off the clock. Here's the boot. Bounces at the 40, takes a Manchester roll. And Anderson will start this possession from the 25-yard line. Let's talk about Anderson's offense. The middle has been open. We've seen it. The interception that came kind of in a pressure-packed situation with under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that pass game coming up here for the Ravens.
Yeah, the middle has been wide open. It only closes and he gets picked off when he doesn't get rid of it soon enough, or if the pocket is collapsing to where he doesn't have time to really see, and then he gets rid of it late. But this run game, I mean, maybe you can try it once on first downs, but it's really not done a whole lot here for them. They need to find something passing the ball. And is this Wildcat?
Going Wildcat formation. I'm going to switch it up. A run on the right side, and let me see, a horse collar here maybe? Nope, no flag on the play. So a loss of 4.
He is brought down by number 22, DeAndre Kirby, on number 51.
And the replay here, it just maybe trying to get a little bit of a different look here.
Brings up 2nd down 12 for the Ravens.
And there's just nowhere to go there for him.
Trying to make something out of nothing.
And I think a quick hit slant or quick skinny post will be golden for them if Manchester lines up in the defense they've been in all day. And yep, quick slant, quick out now that he's on the...
Under pressure, Meek fires across the middle, caught. Stays in bounds. And on 2nd and 12, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, a pickup of 3. So a 3rd and long coming up here. Let's see if Manchester's defense can withstand.
And anything really underneath, if it's a pass or a run, really hasn't gone anywhere because Manchester's just so quick to it with their front 4, their linebackers closing in quick. And that's why Anderson has been in such tough 3rd down and long situations.
So here comes the Ravens. Their first offensive possession. They're going to look to the air, open. First offensive possession of the second half, and they're showing some different looks. They move the sticks here on a pickup of 17.
And I like that they've only run the ball once because, like we've said, it really didn't do a whole lot in the first half. They ran it on first down, and they set up, unfortunately, in a 3rd and long, but finds a man in motion, wheel route. I love that concept. Puts him wide open on the sideline there and hits him in stride. Now I'd run it over the middle.
So for the first time this afternoon, Anderson's offense, we have a penalty flag. Let's see what the call is here. So, as we mentioned, 8 penalties in the first half for Anderson, 2 on Manchester. As the officials today discuss the call. Hey, don't forget Wheeler Mission, big event coming up. Move your feet so others can be a part of the Drumstick Dash on November the 23rd, beginning at 9 a.m. You can either run or walk. For more information, sign up. Go to drumstickdash.org.
There's no foul. Penalties downfield. Results of the play.
So no foul. Flag is picked up. And this drive will continue for Anderson. I've been impressed so far with what they've been able to do with their adjustments here to start the 3rd quarter.
And it's these quick hits that they're finding something on. The wheel route was a quick release. That was quick. Pop pass right over the middle. I love it. And first down, as we've said here, this is the down to run the ball if they're going to run it.
So 1st and 10 into Manchester territory. Meek out of shotgun. Quick pass. Left side caught at the 50. Don't know if they'll give him the original line of scrimmage or not.
And these screen passes on both sides haven't really been successful. You have to get the right block at the right time for these to succeed. And as we see here, it just gets blown up. He gets outside leverage there. And what you want as a receiver blocking is to not give him that so he can just cut off your butt to the outside, but he's able to just push him straight into his own guy.
So Anderson looking for the end zone for the first time this afternoon, trailing 14-0. Just under 5 minutes gone by, 3rd quarter. Meek looks under pressure. We're going to have a flag caught. Enough for the first down and more, but unfortunately this is going to come back from the obvious hold there on the line of scrimmage. So this will push them back into their own territory. And as we talked about at halftime, penalties really causing yardage here for Anderson.
Holding. Offense, number 77.
And holding sometimes are tough, but at the same time, you just got to pick your feet up and move them to get in the way of the guy instead of grabbing onto that jersey. I mean, in the moment, I understand, but in this situation in the game for your team.
Penalty brings up 2nd down and 22 for the Ravens.
So Anderson taking their time here. Clock continues to wind under 10 minutes. Four wide set. Man in motion. Meek thought about the quick pass, steps up. He's going to run with it. He's going to be tackled out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Number 2, Hayden Meek on the carry.
So Meek with the quarterback keeper picks up 5.
Gain on the play brings up 3rd down 18.
So 3rd and long coming up here. You don't need to get all 18 on this play, but this was a drive that started out well, and then the holding penalty on what would have been a 24-yard pickup has pushed them back to the 45-yard line. We'll see what Anderson tries to do.
There could be a quick pop to the 3rd guy in on the top of the screen. Yep, right now.
Meek,
oh my goodness.
Quick dump off. We're going to have an eligible man downfield.
That lineman wanted to run the seam.
So the 3rd and 18. I think you decline this, right? And it just sets you up for a 4th and 14?
I would decline it if I was the coach. He had someone wide open running down the seam again. Not the lineman, but.
Holding.
Oh, holding.
Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
So the 10th penalty, the third on this drive for Anderson, will set up a 3rd down and 28. Not much in the playbook for that.
Not a whole lot. I'd say go back to your little hook and ladder that worked, or
that worked in the first half.
Flea flicker. I would love to see one of those. Maybe even reverse at Philly special type play, but
so back to the 35-yard line. Meek, shotgun snap, takes it under pressure. Breaks out of one. He's going to keep it. Now tosses it downfield. Caught and pushed out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So good job by Meeks by staying in the pocket here. But it'll bring up a 4th down and long. And I think you just punt this one away.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to do it. I mean, they're huddling, though. Maybe they're thinking about faking it. I would.
Why not?
You got a 1.25 left in your entire season.
4th and 15, the call officially. Manchester going to bring the blitz. Good snap. Good boot. Caught at the 20. Shakes a few guys out of the way. And, there's going to be a major face mask there.
And you might need a stretcher for that one.
And that was a very hard hit. Grabs the face mask. And that'll add 15 more yards. The 11th penalty on Anderson. And Manchester will start their second drive of the second half with good field position.
He just tried to rip his face off. Oh, my. Hopefully he's okay after that.
Face mask. 40. The kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. Touchdown.
So Manchester leading 14-0 will take over on offense after the punt. Looking to add to the lead.
Penalty brings up 1st down and 10 Spartans at their own 42-yard line.
So from the 42, 1st and 10. 3 wide set. One man in the backfield. Anderson has it. He's off to the races. He's at the 40, the 30. Pursuit coming. 10, 5. Touchdown. 60 yards. 20-0 in favor of Manchester.
Just a great job again. He's done this all game. He finds his lane on his positive runs, and he just puts his foot in the ground and he goes. He trusts his speed. Sometimes it's hard to find a running back to do that. As we're going to see here, he finds a lane, he plants, and he just goes. And sometimes running backs like to hesitate too much, but he just took off, and it put him in the end zone.
For the 60-yard touchdown by Josiah and Serena Smith. Puts him over 100 yards rushing on the afternoon. And Manchester goes ahead by 20. Extra point pending. A 60-yard touchdown run, extra point up and true. And with 8:07 to go in the third quarter, Manchester adds to the lead. They lead Anderson 21-0. You're watching the Bronze Ball game on HCAC.
Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. You know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year, all sorts of sports. Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably can help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Back here from Manchester University on HCAC.TV, powered by IndianaSRN. Peyton Brown, Tony Donahue with you. 21-0 Manchester, a 60-yard touchdown run from Anserina Smith. And this was really set up by Manchester's defense, being able to get off the field after Anderson was on a really good drive. A couple penalties brought that back. Nothing they could do with the 4th and 28 besides punt the football. 2 plays later, touchdown for Manchester. They lead 21-0.
And at this point, Anderson, it's going to be tough to find some momentum for them because down 21-0 last game of the year, 0-9 already. I mean, it's tough to find encouragement, but this is exactly where you need to just forget about the score, forget about their records, and play loose. We haven't seen a lot of them playing loose right now, and that's exactly what they need.
Here's the kickoff, fielded at about the 12-yard line, still on his feet. They're going to give him the 29-yard line, and that's where Anderson will start. The last 2 possessions take away the little more extracurricular going on here. The offense has looked good. Couple completions. They started to throw it a little bit more on that last possession, but the penalties have been the issue here this afternoon for Anderson.
Yeah, any momentum they get on a run or a pass has been taken back by a penalty, and as we saw there, again, it's just the little things that you can control that you got to reel in.
So Anderson, Meek, quick screen pass, incomplete. And you mentioned it. You got to be careful with those passes. That one almost got batted down.
That almost got batted down or picked off. Sometimes I don't understand the thought behind little things like that because you either run it well or maybe not so well. It's kind of a hit or miss type of play. But I mean, first down would be the down to do that.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Ball on the 28-yard line, 7:54 to play. Handoff up the middle. Plenty of room to the 40. To the 44-yard line. Pick up a 15 on 2nd and 10. First down, move the chains for the Ravens.
And again, hopefully they're able to keep it clean this drive so they can keep moving the ball and build off of it. But just like we saw from the touchdown run from Manchester, he found the lane and he went.
Quick handoff again here. And we'll have a penalty marker. Let's see what it is. Maybe looked like it was thrown immediately at the snap.
Oh. Defense. 12 men on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalties from the previous spot. Remains first down.
He may have caught the 2 running off.
Yeah.
Just right there before.
The old Peyton Manning. Right,
yeah.
like you get them switch and you snap it with 12 men on the field. Everyone to thank Boilermaker Local 374. They can offer you a career as an iron shipbuilder, blacksmith, or general helper. For more information, contact the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers, 219-845-1065. Tony Donahue and Peyton Brown with you. Anderson looking to get on the board. Final game of the season for both of these teams. Winless on the season. Play action, throw across the middle, caught. Great pass play here. And Anderson out to the races, gets a block. And into the end zone he goes for the score.
Blindside hit.
But we're going to have a blindside tackle. And again, beating yourself. Penalty markers. It's going to take 6 points off the board here for Anderson.
Targeting, maybe.
We'll see if that's the call.
Pass was complete to number 7, Julian Holkey.
We'll wait the call here. It did look like.
Result of the play, touchdown. There is no foul for a blindside block.
All righty then, keep it on the board. Anderson, a 51-yard touchdown strike. They are on the board. For the first time this afternoon, with the extra point pending, Julian Hogan, the Indiana Wesleyan product, with the 60-yard touchdown. And Anderson answers. Extra point, good, and we will take a break. 6:58 to go. Anderson on the board. They still trail Manchester 21-7. You're watching the Bronze Ball game on HCAC.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
So Anderson finds the end zone on a 60-yard touchdown strike. Picked the flag up, extra point good. And Manchester still holding on to a 21-7 advantage with 6:58 to go. But we talked about Manchester's defense on the field for 20-plus minutes in that first half. And Anderson carved through them on that drive for the touchdown. Their first of the afternoon. They still trail 21-7, but you got to like what you saw out of the offense there for the Ravens.
Yeah, it was a lot more high tempo, get on the ball quick, get it out quick, and it was able to put them in the end zone. And now for Manchester, like we talked about at halftime, they got to possess the ball because Anderson has finally found a rhythm. And if they give them the ball back quick, their defense is already tired.
We're going to have a holding. This return's going to probably come back. Still on his feet. Another flag. So we got multiple penalties. It's going to go to the house. And Serena Smith takes it. Well, we have two penalty markers.
Looks like two holdings maybe.
So we'll see what both penalties are. I think one was definitely a hold. Nonetheless, I don't think the return for a touchdown is going to stand. I've been proven wrong before, though. So offsetting.
Fouls on both teams. Offside, kicking team. Holding, return team. Block in the back, return team. Those fouls offset will re-kick.
So, two flags on Manchester, one on Anderson on the offside on the kick, which will reset. I think it was a little bit before this on the hold. And the flag is already down here for the offsides. So let's do it again. I think for Anderson, you're going to say, you know what? Let's keep it away from Serena Smith here after what he just did, although he's probably on the sidelines getting his breath back. Boots it deep. Fielded at the 15. Takes it out to the 20. Gets the 30-yard line and tackled down at the 28-yard line. So both teams scoring on their last possession. Manchester will take over with a 2-touchdown lead. And the football, 6:31 to go.
He is brought down by number 39, Logan Alexander.
We saw a 60-yard touchdown run from Serena Smith. So touchdowns for Manchester this afternoon of 30, 70, and 60 yards. The big play has certainly been in their favor today.
Yeah, big hits have been huge for them today, but also at the same time, maybe down the road in this game, it could be a detriment if they don't take a little more time off.
Quick run here. Under pressure and going down for a pickup of 2. 2nd and 8. Love picks up 2.
Gain of 2 on the play, brings up 2nd down 8 for Manchester.
So 2nd and 8 coming up for the home Spartans halfway through third quarter.
And the the milking of the clock right now in between plays, I think, is going to be good for them. They got to get more than 2 yards, though, a play, but the clock time management would be huge for them here.
And it seems that the offense for Anderson is starting to show some momentum, and their defense trying to pick up off of that would be huge if they can get off the field here on third down and get the football right back.
Especially since Manchester's defense has been on the field so long in this game. They're probably getting tired at this point and fatigued. But we'll see what Manchester can do here, or if Anderson gets a stop.
So 3rd and 8. Quick dump off screen, and he dropped it. Had some space to run. It would have been close to getting to the sticks. But the ball falls incomplete. Clock stops, and Manchester will be forced to punt.
And this is a perfect opportunity for Anderson to really build off of the momentum that they already have. If they can get it into the end zone again, they'll be sitting pretty nice because 15 minutes is a long fourth quarter.
Yes. Plenty of time to go in this one. And Anderson looking to continue that momentum and get themselves back into the football game. That was almost blocked. It's a good boot. It's like a Manchester roll to the 23-yard line. And that's where Anderson will start this next possession, trailing by 14. The offense has gotten going. A couple big plays. Not out of this one quite yet.
They're a lot closer than it may seem, too, because 2 touchdowns with about 20 minutes left in the game. It's not that far away, but also it is pretty far away if you can't get a hold of the penalties and the unsportsmanlikes and the little things that you can control. But Anderson going in the air, I think is huge, getting Meek rolling.
12 penalties committed by Anderson in this one. 12. And let's see what they can do here with the football. Pump fake, wide open, had a man, decides to keep it, throws, and incomplete. So a bit of a hesitation there.
It's a different quarterback, I think.
Second down and 10 for the Ravens.
Decided to stay with it and throw to the left side. So we do have a new quarterback in the game for the Anderson Ravens. It's number 12, Jacob McCluskey. He was the original starter out of California. He'll hand this one off. And the ball is loose after the big hit. Looks like he lost his footing. And they're going to mark him down, so they're going to rule him down. It'll be a 3rd and long coming up here for Anderson.
That may have been an early whistle, too, but maybe not as well. Big break for Anderson. But a 3rd and long is not what they wanted here.
So Jacob McCluskey, the junior, in at quarterback. See if we can't spot Meek on the sideline. Nonetheless, a 3rd and 10. Man in motion. Fires across the middle into the sun, incomplete. Great defensive coverage there. The intended target was to Grays. And Anderson will go 3 and out and get the football right back to Manchester.
And phenomenal coverage here. He's right on his hip the whole time, and then he just comes right at the last second and bats it down. And it was perfect, too, because he didn't try to twist or turn the receiver at all. He just dove right in front and batted the ball down. It looks like they're bringing the house.
So Anderson will punt. Gets it off. It's a good one. Take a bounce and roll past the 40-yard line and hold up at the 39, and that's where Manchester will take over on offense coming up. An offense that stalled on their last possession, scored a 60-yard touchdown run on their opening possession here of the first half. 3:49 to play. With 18:49 to go in this one, you're not probably quite thinking about the clock, but you would like to at least have this football going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I would say you at least try to milk it to the end of the third quarter and maybe even a little bit into the fourth, just with how often you're calling plays.
We're going to have a flag on the play here as Serena Smith takes it downfield. Enough for the first, but we'll see what the penalty call is.
It looks like somebody wasn't set before the snap.
Little mistakes costing both teams here today.
Little mental errors, just it comes down to focus is what it boils down to. If these teams could just get completely focused, all 11 people who are on the team, they would be avoiding things like this.
Penalty brings up first down at 15 for the Spartans.
So 1st and 15 here for Anderson on yet another penalty to the Ravens. That is 14 penalties on the afternoon. Excuse me, on Manchester. So 1st and long. Plenty of time. James throws it in the air, up for grabs. And it's going to hit the turf. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They try to take a shot downfield.
And I like the thought to take a shot, but maybe take a shot to someone who's not in triple coverage here, as he is surrounded by Ravens defenders. Maybe find someone else who has a one-on-one matchup instead.
And just off the turf, incomplete. So a 2nd and 15. Handoff, delayed, lowering the shoulder. A pickup of about 5 there, so 3rd and 11 coming up. 3rd and 10.
Number 25, correction, number 20, Jalen Love on the carry, brought down by number 4.
Love on the carry. He's got 38 yards on the afternoon rushing. And 3rd and 11. And Serena Smith with 103 yards rushing so far. They go to the air, and it's slightly underthrown.
And it looks like he had him there. He just, again, when he's not able to plant his foot, he's not super accurate, but when he is able to, he's usually on the money. As we see here, he throws a little bit off his back foot because he had somebody right in his face.
Yeah. So LeVar Leisure was the intended target. He's got 2 catches on the afternoon. And I think we will see a pooch punt here. No, we'll see a full-on punt. So Anderson going to show blitz. That possession lasted 44 total seconds. Get out of the way, my guy. There you go. And Anderson will take over. 2:27 to go, 3rd quarter. What does Anderson have to do to get back in this game?
Anderson needs to, again, find more of a rhythm, a consistent rhythm in the passing game. When they take shots that are more than 5 yards down the field that isn't a vertical route, they're able to find a little bit of momentum, like a deep crossing or a post maybe, or a deeper kind of slant, or even a deeper out. Just those mid-range routes, like 6 to 12 yards, is what they've been able to do well here. And if they can get that and get rolling on it, then I think they'll find themselves in the end zone again.
Showing a little bit of a different look here. They're going to go 4 wide. 1 man in the backfield. Quick handoff, has some space, and is met immediately after a pickup of 2. Davis on the carry, picks up 2 officially.
And Davis he hesitates a little too much here at the end of this run. See, right there, you got to go. And he hesitates a little bit, which is why he's met only 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
That allowed the pursuit to catch up, tackle him immediately. So 2nd and 8, under 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Out of shotgun, rolling to the right. Sets his feet, under pressure, gets it off in time, but incomplete. And another penalty marker.
Pass goes incomplete.
Either be a hold or an ineligible receiver downfield. The 14th penalty here for Anderson, if it's charged to the Ravens.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. Second down.
And we're going to get back in this one, Peyton. You can't be beating yourself with these penalties.
No, you cannot. And I don't know what they got to do to find the photo, because it's the same ones. It's unsportsmanlike, holding, and ineligible man downfield. Now, sometimes you have penalties within the game that are not controllable, and you can't do a whole lot about, like maybe a little false stuff. But these are all things that they can't. It's been consistent, and they just have chosen not to fix it yet.
14 penalties, 132 yards on those penalties. Quick snap, floats it left side, overthrown, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 20 coming up for Anderson.
3rd down and 20 for Anderson.
And it looks like he floats it to. You have a simple hitch route here, and you got to plant and really drive the ball down, but he just kind of floats it a little bit. And I mean, he had him for at least a 5-yard catch, but.
We talked about this a lot in the first half, too. The defensive pursuit for Manchester has kept Anderson's offense at bay, and both quarterbacks from Anderson that have played this afternoon have not been able to set their feet, not had a lot of time to fire strikes downfield. 3rd and 20. Under pressure, ball's out, picked up by Manchester to the 2-yard line. So the pursuit, the strip sack, recovers it himself, and that sets Manchester up inside of the red zone, inside the 10.
And it looks like they ordered a little bit of Dwight Freeney today coming off the edge there. That's the 2nd time he's been strip sacked this afternoon, and he just bounces it right to himself, and he was one move away from getting into the end zone.
Jalen Grimes on the pursuit, gets the strip, gets the bounce off the turf into his gloves, turns it around, and now Manchester looking to put this one away. They lead by 14, and they're at the 3-yard line. Shotgun snap, fade back in the end zone, up for grabs, caught, and then incomplete, so a great second effort there by Anderson. So give some love to Aaron Bowe from Logansport. The ball was caught, and he slaps it out of his possession.
And I bet they do the same thing. I bet they go back to it.
So it looks like he doesn't complete the catch. So nice touchdown saving deflection there, and then on this same play, right on cue from Peyton, Manchester finds the end zone. It's Jordan Barnett for the 2nd time this afternoon.
He was even double covered too, but when you're on the 3-yard line, you can't have somebody over top of you 10 yards deep because you're at the back of the end zone, which you see he's at the back of the end zone, but it's going to do no good back there guarding a receiver like Barnett. And James finding his favorite target from a few weeks ago to maybe put this one away.
How about IU getting the football, marching down the field, and a 2-point conversion? The Hoosiers and Illini are in overtime at 42. Extra point, we got a flag on the play. So let's await the call. Officials doing a great job. There's been a lot of flags thrown. they've done a good job of getting together, communicating with both coaches, finding their way, maneuvering around these penalties.
And it looks like this one's going to be on Anderson again, since they're over talking to the Manchester coach.
There are 2 fouls, both against the defense. Illegal substitution, 12 men in formation. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, hands to the face, number 11 of the defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, 15 yards.
So penalty be forced on the kickoff. We'll take a timeout quickly. 28-7, the lead for Manchester. 1:07 to play in the third quarter. You're watching the Bronze Ball game right here on HCAC.TV. So the strip sack leads to a touchdown. Defense into offense for Manchester. They lead 28-7. You're watching the Bronze Ball game right here at HCAC.TV. The HCAC Conference, Tony Donahue, Peyton Brown with you. We thought Anderson was going to have a chance to maybe get back into this one. Momentum was on their side, but the strip sack absolutely took that away. And they converted into 7 points here with this touchdown pass.
Yeah, these penalties and the lack of protection for Meek is really getting to them, and just, as we're going to see again, and killing them because they're not able to find any momentum. They're not able to build off of bigger pass plays or run plays that they get because it's either a flag taking them back or equivalent to that with a sack. And if they can find out how to figure that out, then maybe they can find some momentum. But time is not their friend right now.
No, it's not. And the difference in the game here, I think, so far, and tell me if you agree with me, is just there's been this defensive line of Manchester. I mean, they've been in the backfield. They've gotten 4 sacks, but even more importantly, they're keeping whichever quarterback's out there for Anderson. You know, they've switched a few times now. Has been uncomfortable and not had a clean pocket.
Yeah, a lot of plays, too, they don't run a twist or a blitz. It's just the front four getting the pressure. And as we see here, they close down. They close gaps really, really quick, leaving no room for the running back, quarterback, or anyone.
So that's the way the third quarter will come to an end. Manchester scores 14 in the quarter. Anderson with their first touchdown of the afternoon as well. We head to the fourth quarter on HCAC.TV, where Manchester leads 28-7. We'll be back right after this.
An active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Back here, start of the fourth quarter on HCAC.TV, the Bronze Ball game. Manchester 28-7 leaders. Tony Donahue alongside of Peyton Brown. Anderson, Jacob McCluskey into the game at quarterback here in the second half. A third down coming up. And despite as much as they've been on the field, this Manchester defense has handled anything that the Anderson offense has thrown their way.
Yeah, they have been on top of it, and again, it starts with their D linemen, and then it pushes back because the D line gets such pressure that on run plays, the linebackers are able to flow and fill their gaps, and then it's just made the secondary's job easy. Like you're defending a quarterback who's distressed more than half the time, and most of the time when that happens, they don't make too smart of throws, and it gives you a chance at the ball, no matter where you are on the field.
Manchester's showing blitz on a 3rd and 17. McCluskey bobbles the snap, and he will go down, sacked again after he bobbled the snap. So a 4th and long. I think you have to punt it here, obviously.
And I don't really know what happened there because I think everyone saw that blitz coming, but nobody picked him up. Nobody touched him as he even stutters a little bit. I mean, right in front of him and untouched.
25 to the Ravens.
So great pursuit there by the defense of Manchester. That was Blake Miller, the linebacker, the freshman. Here's the punt from the end zone. Almost blocked. Field at the 45. Breaks out of a tackle. Looks for blockers. Has a few ahead of him. A hard tackle from behind. And Manchester will take over from the 40-yard line. 14:03 to play.
On the return, he's brought down by number 4, Matthew Shams. It will be Spartans ball, first down at 10.
So Spartans will take over on offense, leading 28-7. All but 57 seconds of the fourth quarter remain in this bronze ball contest. The trophy on its way back to Manchester after Anderson won a year ago, 19-12.
Folks, remember that after the game, the Manchester University Spartan Pride Band will be presenting their 5th quarter. Stick around and hear their program again.
So we'll play on here after the punt. Ball on the 40-yard line for Manchester. Eric James, the quarterback in the backfield. 3 wide set. We'll hand it off. And back to the line of scrimmage. No more goes Serena Smith. It was over 100 yards rushing on the day. 60 of those coming on that touchdown. So 2nd and long.
And if I'm Manchester right now, I'm taking my time running these plays, especially if they're going to be short runs or conservative. I'm taking the whole play clock off of that clock every single time because it's almost a minute each time.
So 2nd and 10, 13:30 to go. There we go, a little reverse here. Jet sweep action. Off to the races. Finds the 30 to the 25. Stutter step. Pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So great run there by Darrell Moss on the reverse jet sweep. And Manchester back into the red zone. Looking to add to their 28-7 lead.
And he's able to just find a little, well, number one, the defense is confused because of the reverse, but he finds space out there and he just goes. And if I'm Manchester, I'm doing a little bit of what we did last drive and having James throw it up to Barnett. It almost looks like he's looking that way.
So Barnett one-on-one coverage, bottom of your screen. 3 wide receivers to James's right. He'll look, fired deep back of the end zone. Incomplete, slightly underthrown the intended target. That'll set up a 2nd down. Coming up, Peyton Fry, the senior, was the intended receiver. Ball just slightly underthrown.
And underthrowing it to that spot wasn't terrible if it was just a little more outside, to the outside shoulder, the back shoulder. He probably would have been falling in the end zone for a touchdown there, but regardless.
So they'll do the same lineup to the right side, but Barnett will change sides of the football field. He's at the very top of your screen. And off to the races to the end zone. And they're going to mark him down. And Serena Smith looking for his second touchdown run of the game, but he's going to be marked short. Stepped out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
And it looks like he just got pushed a little bit outside there. Otherwise, he would have been in. And maybe a back shoulder fade coming again.
Barnett with 2 touchdown catches already.
He is one-on-one at the top.
Can he add to it? I don't know if I like the call to throw across the field, right? It makes it a little bit more difficult of a throw for James. Here's the handoff. Doesn't matter either way. It's Hovey.
He's in.
And he's marked down at the 1. So Hovey looking for his second touchdown run of the day. Gets stopped from behind at the 1-yard line. Tush push.
Definitely tush push open here, but something else that is wide open is Moss on a slant. He's a third receiver in. Yeah, it's wide open, but
handoff again, loses his footing, and there's a penalty marker in the backfield.
The fade or the slant is open at this point because none of them are expecting it. Otherwise, I would tush push it.
Well, let's see if they'll have a little bit more breathing room here, or so holding on Manchester. I think it's so that was first down. I thought it was a goal-to-go situation.
Penalty brings up first down and goal at the 11.
So first and goal from the 11 after the 10-yard penalty. I don't know. I thought it was second down, but I could be wrong. He got tripped up.
Slant's open again.
So here's the fade. Caught it across, and he completes the catch. Barnett for his third touchdown catch of the afternoon. 11 yards out. James to Barnett. That's his third.
And that is his favorite target there, Barnett.
Especially inside of the red zone, and Barnett
and that
makes it 34-7.
That might pretty much put it away with how this game has gone.
Yeah.
Maybe see one more touchdown out of Anderson.
And I think at this point, we talked about this throughout, and I'm not trying to continue to harp on it, but you're down 35-7. You have the football. Don't beat yourself. Just keep your head cool, and maybe just try to finish off maybe your last college possession with a touchdown. Extra point up, and it is good. Manchester strikes again. They lead 35-7, 11:08 to play in the fourth quarter.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
For the third time this afternoon, a touchdown strike to the sophomore, Jordan Barnett. 11 yards out on a first and goal, and just runs a nice slant pattern, finds a little bit of space, hauls in the catch.
And again, they put a defender over top of him, but it does no good to have a receiver like that with a defender 10 yards off of you. You obviously have the one who's directly guarding you. But if you're going to double cover, his eyes got caught in the backfield, which is what opened up that touchdown for Manchester.
So Barnett with touchdown catches of 11, 70, and 2 yards as the ensuing kickoff will go out of bounds. So Anderson will start after the illegal procedure at the 35-yard line. Long way to go in this fourth quarter still. Anderson possessions starting to come to a minimum here with 11:08 to go. You're going to finish your season without a win. How do you finish this 11:08?
I think you got to finish it without really thinking about it, but also thinking about it at the same time. Understanding that it's your last game, the seniors, it's your last game of your life, which is, hurts in the moment. But you got to choose to finish strong, and you got to think about how you want to go out and what kind of legacy you want to live. And certainly you don't want to leave one that with unsportsmanlike penalties and one that has any regrets.
Nice toss across the middle here. Caught first down on the 45-yard line.
Pass is complete to number 3, Jameer Graves. He's brought down by
So Jameer Graves with his second catch.
It will be
as Anderson looking to get something going here on this possession. Tripped up, ball's loose, fumble on the ground, scramble for it. Anderson recovers it. Looked like Anderson got it the last bounce there. Got some extra pushing going on. And the defense pursuit of the passer for Manchester has wreaked havoc. A couple strip sacks. That's the 7th sack of the afternoon. And just off the edge blitz. Untouched came Javion Davis to apply the pressure.
In some of these, I don't know how they don't see the guy coming off the edge, because they're right in front of him, but it's almost like they're maybe trying to down block instead of, I don't know.
So on 2nd and 21, play action, ball slightly underthrown and deflected, batted down. Jalen Neighbor on the coverage. And a 3rd and long coming up here for Anderson. More than likely Jordan Barnett will be our player of the game with his 3 touchdown catches, but this defense of Manchester and the pressure has came from everywhere. It's came from the linemen. It's came from the blitz off the edge. Got to be impressed with what their defense has shown here today.
Yeah, it's either going to be James or one of the 6 players that have been in the box this entire game on the defensive side of the ball for Manchester.
Another blitz shown here. Cross-field throw, and he turned to run with it. Didn't haul it in. Incomplete. 4th and long coming up, and Anderson will elect to punt it.
And at this point, I mean, I know you're in your own territory, 4th and 21, not what you want, but I'd be going for it. You got 10 minutes left in your season. For some people in their career, for their entire life, and at this point, I'm going for it. Nothing to lose, especially at this point.
Yeah, and maybe you get a pass interference call, maybe you get something downfield, or a penalty on the defense to give you an automatic first down, but they will elect to punt it. Manchester brings the house again. Almost blocked it. And this one will be down at the 32-yard line. And we have a fight. We've got a late hit. Penalty markers flying.
And the emotions
starting to boil over here. Oh, boy. So the name of this one has been penalties. And more likely than not, they've been unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. The refs doing a great job of getting to where the extracurricular noise is, separating these players, and getting them to their sidelines. Hey, the Morales Group is building better futures one story at a time. They have locations in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Anderson, Columbus, and Lafayette. more information, give them a call today, 317-472-7600, 317-472-7600. James stays out there for Manchester, 35-7, the advantage, 9:58 to go. Three wide receiver set, handoff, left side, another flag, another hold. Ball loose. Anderson recovers. I haven't heard a whistle. Then Anderson recovers it. We'll see what the call is. There was no whistle blown. And we'll see if Anderson will come up with the turnover here. The officials will get together.
The results of the play, a fumble recovered by Anderson. Holding, 77. Offense, penalties declined. It'll be 1st and 10, Anderson.
So it's going to result in a fumble. The holding penalty will be declined, and Anderson will have it here inside of the 40-yard line.
And it looks like they get another shot to maybe have a little bit of a highlight going out at the end of their season here.
So a good pursuit there of playing to the whistle. Ball comes loose. It's the second turnover of the afternoon for Manchester, and we'll see if Anderson can turn it into points here. 9:48 to go. Roll out, play action, fires downfield, wobbly pass, battled around and incomplete.
And I like the idea of taking a shot, but again, there was one person from his color jersey there and about 3 or 4 from the other.
Yeah, McCluskey set his feet, fires it deep. A little bit of a wobbler, almost picked off. 2nd and 10. Manchester was trying to run this clock out and waste some time. They haven't been able to do so here in this fourth quarter. Quick throw, right side, caught. Shakes out of a tackle to the 20 down to the 18-yard line. Nice little pitch and catch there. And it's Ted Lamson with his second reception.
And if they're able to punch it in the end zone here, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see an onside. I would expect to see an onside.
For first down to be Ravens ball, 1st down and 10.
Klusky looks to the end zone. Under pressure, tries to scramble out. And the Manchester defense will come up with their 7th sack of the afternoon.
Looks like it's Hubbard again.
And Hubbard with the sack, and then a great sportsman-like play here. Help McCluskey off the turf. 2nd and long coming up.
Brings up 2nd down and 17 for the Ravens.
Good tackle there. Just get him below the hips, get him to the ground. Man in motion. Play action. Cross the middle. Deflected, batted down, incomplete.
And he had his receiver if he dumped it just a little bit over him, but sometimes those linebackers will come out of nowhere and sneak up on you there. And again, it's Hubbard.
Yep. Hubbard with the pursuit. And he did have him there, but the ball goes incomplete. So a 3rd and long coming up. (68-20), the final MSJ over Rose-Hulman. Other HCAC scores. Awesome night last night in the high school scene here in the state of Indiana. Some big-time games. We're going to have a false start here. Throw it up, incomplete. I think if it is on Anderson, I would just decline this and make it 4th and 18. Some great games last night. And semi-state right around the corner. Westfield will take on Crown Point. Center Grove will be at Ben Davis.
Aerial shift. Anderson, number 4. 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
We'll replay third down and make it 3rd and 23. Take us back. What was it like playing Friday night football, November, meaningful playoff football games? Just that feeling of the anticipation all week, really.
Yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking when you get past the regular season because you know any week can be your last week. But I remember especially my senior year, we were able, fortunately, to win the sectional championship, and just every week we made it intentional just to take every second in, flip the switch every day, and focus on getting better because at that point it's no longer teams that aren't great. It's teams that, deserve to be there, especially after the first, second week, getting to sectional, regional championship, and it's people who want to end your season as bad as you want to end theirs. So it's definitely high emotion, high energy, high excitement, but also very, very surreal because at any moment you can win a trophy and at any moment you can lose the opportunity to.
Another penalty marker here after the sack and the pursuit. I have a hold. Decline, there you go. The 4th down coming up. I still think you go for it. From the 34-yard line. 4th and 23. 4th and 23 coming up here. The original line of scrimmage here, the 19-yard line. They'll need to get it to the 9-yard line. Man in motion, clock runs under 8 minutes. Across the middle, caught, but not enough for the first down, and Manchester will take over.
Big man coming in at the end there.
And Manchester will take over. 7:53 to go. I'd expect to see a heavy dose of running the football here.
I bet we will see a bunch of running the ball here. It's the last 8 minutes of the game. You're up by enough. You don't really need to rub anything in. And at this point, it's just about possessing the ball. And if I'm Manchester, I'm sticking to the run plays that work. Get 5 yards plus each time and then take 30 seconds before running another play. Because you should, at this point, be able to run the clock completely out.
Come on, a shotgun set, 3 wide, 1 in the backfield. Handoff. Goes to Anserina Smith. He gets the first down, passes the 40-yard line, stays in bound. Clock will run, 42-yard line on the pickup of 14.
Now I'd huddle here, probably talk things over. As we see again, he's been so good about putting his foot in the dirt and just getting upfield. There might have been a little bit of a hold there, but
yeah, I think at this point, unless it's an egregious hold, no need to keep stopping the clock. As the sun starts to set here in Manchester. Under pressure again, handoff, Anserina Smith. Tackled just past the line of scrimmage, so a gain of 1.
Number 26, Josiah Anserina Smith.
He's over 120 yards rushing here this afternoon.
55, Connor Huffman, gain of 1 on the play, brings up second down 9.
You're up 35-7, 7 to go. If you're a senior right now, do you want to stay in the game, finish this out, because this might be the last time, or are you ready to get that walk-off ovation?
Oh, with only 7 minutes left, you're wanting to stay in the game. I mean, I remember my last game, we got smoked, but even so, the coaches were like, let's get some backups in, and I'm like, no, just keep us out there, and at the end of the game, we'll focus on moving on. So I guarantee that's what they're thinking here.
Quick run here, left side, passes the 50-yard line into plus territory, goes Manchester.
Number 26, Josiah Anserina Smith.
And a heavy dose of Jariah Anserina Smith here on this drive in the fourth quarter.
It will be first down and 10 Spartans at the Raven 45-yard line.
So Manchester, I believe this is the most points they've scored in a game this season, 35. To look to add to it. Starter still in, 5:50 to go. And Manchester will take a timeout with 5:46. Take it with them. 5:46 to play. Manchester 35-7. The bronze ball game right here on HCAC.TV.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So after the timeout, Manchester will line up here. Serena Smith out of the game. This will be Hovey. He gets past the 40-yard line down to the 38 on a 1st down and 10. 5:30 to play. Hovey got the scoring started with a 30-yard touchdown run to go up 6-0 for Manchester. They haven't looked back since. Barnett with 3 touchdown catches. And Serena Smith had a 60-yard touchdown run early in the first half as well. 35-7. Your score, 5 minutes to play. James going to look to throw. Under pressure, he's going to be sacked, and he'll go down at the 46-yard line.
And I don't totally understand that.
Yeah, looking to pass the football on 1st and 10.
Number 15 here, James is brought down.
They started this drive with 7:52 to go.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
So 3rd and 11 coming up. As Manchester continue this drive. James rolls out, looking for a man downfield. Throws it up. Caught. Both feet in, but they're going to call it incomplete, out of bounds. I thought he might have got both feet in.
I don't know. He looked in there.
Maybe that back heel didn't get down.
Brings up 4th down 11 for Manchester.
A great job securing the catch. Great slow-mo replay here. Yeah, I think he was off the ground when he went to catch it and didn't get a foot in bounds. So a 4th and long coming up, 4:15 to play. Hey, Piper Logistics specializes in everything from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. 3 services, 1 solution. We do it all. For further information, give us a call, 317-398-1023. We want to thank all of our sponsors for today's broadcast. Officially Human, Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, Wheeler Mission, Boilermaker Local 374, Morales Group, and Piper Logistics, as this ball will be down at the goal line. So Anderson will start it from the goal line. Maybe you cap off your season with a win and a safety. We shall see. It's a nice little pooch punch here. Pooch punt by James. And takes a Manchester roll down nicely right at the goal line. And again, it's not where the player is, it's where the ball is.
He's just...
Ooh.
I don't know. If they had instant replay, that'd be close.
That's close. Yeah, that's about as close as it gets. They're going to actually give him a little bit more space. Maybe a half football's worth. That's where Anderson will take over. 4:06 to play. Manchester showing blitz, handoff. And that's definitely a safety. We have a safety.
Yep.
Couldn't get out of the end zone.
And a great way to cap it off for him.
And Manchester adds a safety to the season resume. And it's 37-7. in favor.
Sam Huffman for the Manchester safety.
So Huffman gets the safety. And the Spartans, great pursuit there. I mean, he was pushed down, got the trip. Thought we were going to see one earlier.
I think it was one earlier. I don't know. Maybe they were wanting to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Were you ever involved with a game that had two safeties?
I don't even know if I was involved with one that had a safety.
Yeah. You don't see safeties that often, especially on the high school or the college level.
Yeah. I know there
really
was,
not in the NFL either.
Yeah, I know there was plenty of opportunity for one, but for some reason, as we saw earlier in the game, defense has a perfect opportunity for it, and then they miss it.
So Manchester will be set to return this kick. Still with 4 minutes to go, a chance to find the end zone again. Obviously not the season that either of these programs had in mind. Nonetheless, though, Manchester to walk off with the win 37-7. If that does end up being the final, obviously leading here with 4 minutes to go. Good taste in your mouth. Walking out with that win. Season wasn't great, but they go into the offseason with the victory under their belt. And it's difficult. You come into a game like this where you're 0-9 and you're probably a little bit fatigued, maybe even a little bit worn down. And I think it's pretty easy to get up for your last game. It's also easy to get up to try to win your first game, and you don't want that to come in the hands of a team that hasn't won either.
Yeah.
So great job by Manchester defending their home turf, taking back the bronze ball. Fumble. And, we're going to have a late hit here. So the 8th unsportsmanlike conduct for Anderson, their 15th penalty.
And I think they have more penalty yards than they do rushing and passing. Maybe combined.
Yeah. Yeah. There's penalties continue. Penalty markers continue to fly. Just egregious, too. I mean, that's just, the whistle's already blown and you're coming in a second or two after. So that'll move the football to the 40. The fumble occurred at about the 36-yard line. It bounced forward a few yards.
And if they run the play clock down completely every play, they're 6 plays away.
Yeah. I think they're thinking end zone.
Yeah, they definitely seem like that. I think they're thinking the same thing. I mean, why not?
Maybe you find a senior, get him into the end zone. We shall see. They're going to throw it across the middle, caught, untouched. Stays on his feet. And we mark down to the 20-yard line. It's a nice little pitch and catch there.
It's that middle of the field that's been open all day. As we see here, just a quick hit.
Shoestring grab. I almost like Anderson thought he wasn't going to catch that.
And that is enough for Manchester Spartan.
Those Spartans get the first down on the pitch and catch.
20-yard line.
They'll set it up inside the red zone. Cut back here, right side, passes the 20-yard line, picks up 3.
Number 22, carry, brought down by number 40, Marcus
Holloway's carry. So 2:52 to go. Manchester taking their time here. You know the players going, let's go, let's score, let's score. And the coach is going, hey, let's make this clock stay on our side and keep it rolling.
Oh yeah, I definitely know how it is in the huddle, especially in a game that it's your last one and you want to go out on a high note. It's like, let's get it in the end zone one more time. But the coach, like you said, is like, all right,
Let's see what they elect to do here on 2nd and 7. James out of shotgun, handoff, nowhere to go, and on the pursuit, a loss of 5. 3rd and long coming up from the 25-yard line, 2:12 to play.
Watts on the play brings up 3rd down and 12 for the Spartans.
We have had some substitutions here on this drive. Justin Abiagam in there, the tight end. The senior from Mount Carmel, Illinois. Quick screen pass, backfield, caught. It's a couple blockers downfield, stays in bounds.
Number 20, Jalen Love on the reception.
So Love takes it out of the backfield, picks up a couple of yards.
Brings up 4th down and 7 for the Spartans.
We'll see what they do here. Clock ticking down. The clock is stopped at 1:32. 4th and 7. You bring out the field goal unit? You going for it?
I mean, I'm going for it at this point. You are up by quite a bit, and, you know, you want to win with class, but, again, it's the last game of the year.
We'll keep it right here during this time. Yeah, last game of the year, minute 31 to go. Yeah, it's kind of you're in no man's land, right? You don't want to look like you're running up the score. This one's clearly putting away, up by 30. I'm sure there's somebody on that sideline you want to give a chance to, but I think we're going to see a kick here. I think we're going to see a field goal attempt. Matthew Mason on his senior night, on his last game. See if he can boot one through.
And it does look like they're going to.
Well, they'll bring out the field goal unit. Ball marked on the 20-yard line, so a 37-yard, excuse me, ball marked on the 18-yard line, so a 35-yard attempt coming up for Matthew Mason. He did miss the first extra point of the afternoon. Last game of the year, can't hold anything back.
I wouldn't hold anything. I bet they give he's a senior kicker. I bet they give the points to him.
Got to earn them first. 37 yards out. High snap, ball down. Boot is in the air, looks short. And it'll be short and to the right. No good. Let's take a break. 1:27 to go. Manchester 37-7. Anderson's last offensive possession coming up. Right after this, you're watching college football on HCAC.TV.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
We're back here on HCAC.TV. Whistles flying, flags flying. We'll see what they go with here after the turnover on downs to Anderson.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
So it would have been, I believe, a scoop and score.
5, Ravens at their own 25-yard line.
So Anderson maintains possession. 1:21 to go. What stood out for you the most today on the Manchester offensive side of the field?
Yeah, on Manchester's side, I mean, it was their defensive line that really set the tone for the entire game. They, as we're seeing, closing the pocket, closing these gaps and these holes, just making sure that it's completely contained. And then the offense has been able to find a few big hits early on, but Anderson kept it a little close. But, again, the defense bailed them out, and then they were finally able to pull away a little bit with Barnett having 3 touchdowns. So I think it's just building off the momentum that was built by the grittier positions like the defensive line.
Yeah, and I think in this one, like you said, going into it, there was 2 different attitudes that you could have. Let's just get this out of the way. We haven't won a game this year, but Manchester came out defensively, really set the tempo early. And now here on a 2nd down and 5, a pickup of 1 yard. So 3rd and 4 coming up, 35 seconds to go.
It almost looks like they're just going to run it out.
So both teams' season will end, and Manchester victorious for the first time this year. They knock off Anderson 37-7. It was a big day offensively. As mentioned, Barnett with those 3 touchdowns. And Serena Smith with a 60-yard touchdown run. And Hovey with a 30-yard touchdown run. 37-7, the final in this one. Always good to end the season on a high note, but also to beat an in-state rival.
Yeah, it is huge for them to be able to get this win. And with Anderson, it's just a matter of keeping your head up and moving on to the next season at this point. But props to Manchester for pulling away in this one, as they have been on the other side of lopsided scores all year long, finally finding themselves on the benefiting end.
The bronze ball will return to Manchester, Indiana, with a 37-7 win today over Anderson. Penalties also the name of the game today. Too many on the side for the Ravens.
Yeah, I think the Ravens had more
penalty yards.
More penalty yards than they did passing and rushing. It seemed like almost combined.
Yeah.
But regardless, it just was a huge effort on the side of Manchester's defensive.
And a great sight here, seeing the teams come together at midfield, shake each other's hands, congratulate each other. There was a lot of tempers were flying here this afternoon.
Yeah, it was very, very heated. I think it's just the emotion of the game getting to him. But it was kind of interesting to see Anderson. It seemed like it got a hold of them very, very early and just stuck with them the whole game.
We'll see if we can stick around for the bronze ball presentation. We appreciate you watching college football with us here on HCAC.tv. High school level last night, semi-state coming up next week on a Friday night. Be sure to follow us at IndianaSRN on social media and YouTube, and the HCAC's social media channels, as Manchester with a 37-7 win over Anderson. It was 21-7 at halftime. Excuse me, it was 21-7 at halftime. And Manchester will walk off a winner for the first time. And I think we see the bronze ball in Coach's hand right there. And there it is. The bronze ball awarded back to the Manchester Spartans on their first win of the season. They win 37-7 for everybody at IndianaSRN and the HCAC Conference. We thank you so much for watching today's contest, as Manchester with a 37-7 win. For Peyton, Nick, I'm Tony. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and congratulations to the Manchester Spartans on their first win of the season.